we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Starlake Observatory. My name is Trip Starlake, and I'm free of wrist problems and full of dungeon meshi in my brain. We're all here. We're going to talk about something that's not One Piece. I know, crazy. It only took a year and a half. Yeah, a year and a half. But yeah, I'm here with Dr. Toto Hex, Paper Dawn, and Realm. We all agreed to read Dungeon Meshi next because it is a completed manga. It's the next big thing, and I guess it's really good. What do you think?
I mean, considering we're all frogs right now, I think we like the series.
Yes. Yeah, we all
like
got
it a little bit.
Just a little bit.
We all got matching outfits.
Oh my god!
Some
We're
people
just
with
a
no choice,
frog.
you know. They had to go in the depths to get a frog, you know.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there was
Crazy.
a sale.
Right, there's a sale. Thank you very much for making them, Dawn.
Yeah, no problem.
It's great.
Keep going.
But yeah. You all can introduce yourself if you'd like, or we can just get into Dungeon Meshi. I don't want to be the one to describe what Dungeon Meshi is, though, because I just read it and it's all like jumbled in my brain.
I can explain it if
Yay!
somebody else wants to.
Yay!
Just do a brief synopsis
Yeah,
of
just
the.
like a synopsis.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Dungeon Meshi is about a group of people who want to explore a dungeon because their healer from their team was eaten by a dragon,
No.
presumably, and so they are trying to get to the bottom of this dungeon to go get her back. And the last time they lost because they were hungry right before they stopped because he was thinking about how hungry he was, and that's what made him his sister die. So he's on a mission to make sure Laios, the main guy, is on a mission to make sure he doesn't go hungry. So they're eating monsters as they go.
But also because they don't have money to buy dungeons.
They don't have money either, and everyone
they party wiped and lost all their money.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of structured like the way it's immediately structured, kind of like this kind of weird roguelike thing where it's like if you die, you can get resurrected in the dungeon, and they each have kind of their own little strengths where it's like there's Marcel is the mage and Chilchuck is the thief, and they had a healer and so yeah, it's kind of got like this dungeon crawly D&D energy to it.
It's also kind of D&D-ish, where it's kind of like you can get revived. Death is not meaningless. As long as you have the body, you can revive them with magic.
Yeah.
It's like
theoretically you could just
die.
You could just die and die if you died in the wrong spot, but if somebody is around to save you, then yeah. And there are people, they established pretty early that there are people, we'll get into it, but there are people around that do just save people for money. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple premise on the surface. It's just
Thank you.
Yep.
It gets more complicated as it goes.
Yeah, though. Along the way, our main three party members, Laios, Marcel, and Chilchuck, meet Senshi, who helps them cook food. And for the beginning few chapters, it's all about hey, look, we take some monsters and we turn into delicious foods.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. And just I have it up in the left-hand corner, but please don't give or provide any information beyond chapter 30 in the manga. I don't know what episode that is in the anime.
That would be episode 13.
Episode 13, okay. Because we will still be reading it, just not yet.
So basically, don't give spoilers, pretty much
immediately following
the red dragon fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say anything after the red dragon thing, just don't talk about it.
Yeah, we got to the red dragon fight. We got Falling goes missing again. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, no spoilers. Spoilers that eat stuff. Ah, heck.
Yeah,
no way.
It's kind of like a sort of monster of the week, at least sort of towards the beginning. It's kind of like a monster of the week. What are they eating this time? They're going down. You see this monster, you get a big synopsis of the monster, and then they cook it, and you get a big synopsis of the meal, and it's really cute.
Yeah.
I think what it does well, though, is even though it is monster of the week, every single time they run into a monster, you explore either more of the world or more of the character relationships, which is nice.
Yeah.
It is one of, I'd say, in a way that's like non-related to D&D, but it has such depth that you feel like you're just referencing like a very popular like D&D handbook, you know, like you learn so much information. It is so grounded
Yeah.
with all this information. I found that very surprising.
I had heard at one point that it was based in a D&D campaign. I believe that for a long time, but it's not. But
It's not.
it's
Yeah.
very believable that it could be like.
Yeah, it is very believable. I think I did read in an interview that she like extensively researched RPGs like made by D&D. So,
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Ew, there's a stink bug on my freaking
Ew.
Okay,
man,
anyway.
Gross.
Anyway, we're good now.
What else was I gonna say? Not only that, like, but her world is like also very creative. Like the way she defines the monsters. She not only goes into like what they do, but also like their lifestyle, their habitat, their ecology, biology.
She loves fantasy so much. It is so cool. Like I tend to really gravitate towards series or like sci-fi series where I could just tell people love science fiction. This is like the other end. Like she loves fantasy and it's so cool to see it. Like she loves the worlds of fantasy stories and stuff. And oh god, it's so well made.
But it's almost more like it's like soft magic but hard science fantasy, which is weird.
Yeah. There's like it's interesting. Yeah, it's like fantasy, but there's like some logic to it. Like at least, you know, it's still ridiculous, but it's like it's that's true. Yeah, it's really cool.
Right.
It's also really funny. Just like like it's one of those. It's almost like when we talk about this series like broadly, it's like really hard fantasy, you know, crazy concepts, like all this stuff. But it's like truthfully, it's like comedy first, like almost always.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of levity to it because you know going into a dungeon to try to save your dead sister is really sad. But like...
it is quite dark, but there's always this tone of like levity.
Yeah, like you kind of forget like, oh, wait, we're going to save a dead person.
Yeah, it's like kind of dark. It's like pretty intense, but immediately like it establishes like immediately.
And it helps that Laios is like, oh my god, my dream has finally come true. I can eat dungeon monsters now.
We'll probably get into that, but I by the way, I'll probably be saying Laos. That's just like how I've always pronounced it. But,
whatever.
But he's funny. He's quirky.
Yeah, he's fun.
Rome, I think you can. You had something to say, right?
Yeah, sorry.
What? No. I was just saying that. What was I saying? It was. It definitely reminded you of the realistic aspects of living in a fantasy world. Like when some people ask you, hey, hypothetically, if you want to live in a world of a book you've read or a game you played, what would you do? And some people may say like, oh, Zelda or any sort of just, you know, fantasy RPG. No, this manga makes you think of the realistic aspects of living in a fantasy world. You're like, holy shit, there is so much ecosystem that could literally kill you. And this is supposed to be like a safer but not safer dungeon. And then there's just like the ideas of, well, you need to afford your expenses, and there's the community around being adventurers and a whole bunch of it. Like it makes you really think of like just, I don't know, just parts of the world that normally manga would just kind of like skew over for the sake of hey, this is not MC time. Like, let's get this rolling. Let's just forget about it.
Yeah, I even think
that's.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Oh, this is like what I love about these types of series, and what I hate about isekai series, because a lot of times, not every isekai, and I don't hate every isekai, but like a lot of times isekai series kind of use the fact that the like audience is like gamers and the main character is like a gamer to do shorthand for like, oh, this stuff in the world, don't worry about it. It's just like the real world, like economy and whatever. Don't worry about it.
I know. I hate that. Yeah. It's so like isekai
very
is like
lazy.
some of my least favorite kind of like fantasy stories usually because they are pretty. They use it as a crutch. Like they use it as like oh, you're in a fantasy world that this character's not from. He's not going to care about the
Dragon
world.
Quest. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, or like he won't care because he's not from here. So why should you? Like there's no connection there.
Right.
And then there's no like you don't have like at least your main character. You don't have to write his incorporation into the world. It's like insanely fucking lazy.
Right.
Yeah, and meanwhile in Dungeon Meshi, in like the very first chapter, they're like, oh, we lost all our money. Like we need money for weapons and armor and food. And we gotta hire new members because some people just quit because like we TPK'd or
They just
right?
got ejected out of the dungeon, but yeah.
Yeah. And like they even consider like, oh, where should we get food next? Because like we don't have that much money and this place is bigger portions, but we could also get some food like inside the dungeon. Maybe, I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not sure what to do.
Women are saving the fantasy genre in Japan.
Yeah, it's just so she cares so much like about her world building, but also the characters. It's like wow. I also think like normally, because I've played a lot of tabletop roleplay games, like I usually hate the parts where I have to like buy supplies or I have to think about eating for the night. But this is like the complete opposite. I care 100% about that part. Like if it was cool. Like this in actual tabletop, maybe I would care.
Yeah, if there was like
also
honestly,
Senchi's just so excited
about
so
cooking.
Great.
Honestly, if tabletop games had more of an emphasis on cooking, it'd be like way more fun. But usually in tabletop games, the eating is like rations, quote unquote, and it just like is anything.
I eat food, I heal.
Almost every character I've ever made is good at cooking, and the DM never does anything with it. I'm like, okay,
that sucks.
I try.
You gotta get people to read Dungeon Meshi. I feel like every DM after reading Dungeon Meshi will completely change how they write their stories.
Yeah.
They will make it like the hardcore difficulty, which is kind of crazy that the hardcore difficulty is, oh, now you gotta worry about your food, now you gotta worry about hunger, now you gotta worry about like dehydration and like bleeding stoppage, and like I'm like, well, now in the fantasy setting, honestly, like fucking fantastic.
You know, one of the reasons why I thought this was based on D&D at first is because so many situations I could just see as a D&D campaign. Like in the first few chapters when like they're fighting like the what is that thing called? The thing that like screams and stuns you.
Yeah, the
mandrakes. It was like how like could you imagine being a DM be like you encounter a mandrake and then it's like okay, I'm gonna like I'm gonna roll to find out like where its like weak point is, and you roll like a 20, and it's like okay, you found like it's your character just knows it's here. And then like...
no, it's not roll a 20. Senchi uses his like nature skill, nature proficiency.
He just has like an intense proficiency, like plus 18 to his rolls.
Yeah, exactly.
But either way, it'd just be really funny to be like, oh yeah, then you can strategically take it down because you now understand it more, and a DM just being like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Or that again, that'd be so fun to be that'd be part of the whole
I mean, it is very clearly based on D&D. There's a dragon, and it's called Delicious in Dungeon, and like in English, like
no, it is. About that, and I know she said that she like loves the Baldur's Gate, like 1, 2, and 3. So like she's definitely she knows the world of Faerun.
Realm, you'll be happy to know that the author is a Shadowheart sim.
I have a Shadowheart candle literally like sitting above my head right now. I swear. Has hints of black orchid, tea, rose, and incense.
Ooh. Needs more moon.
Karlach's next, all right?
Yeah, okay. Fair. But yeah, I guess, I don't know. We can go just through like the events of the series.
And we can like go through like the cool stuff we like.
Cool stuff, Yeah, I like that Senshi is just so open. He's like, hey, you're gonna eat monsters? I'll help you.
You like eating monsters too?
Yeah, so it kind of starts with them meeting him, right? It's like, is that chapter 1?
Yeah, chapter 1.
Yeah.
They meet him.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I read this back in like 2015 or something. It was like I remember seeing
and you didn't tell me.
I did. Well, the thing is, I was keeping up with the physical books, and then I just like stopped buying them. So I think I had like 1 through 3, and I just never kept reading until like like a few months ago. I just read binged the entire thing. But I just remember reading these and I thought it was so good at first. I was like so impressed by it back then, but I just kind of was like waiting for each volume and then forgot once and just was behind. I didn't want to spend more money. It was
it happens.
It happens. You fall behind.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I personally felt like, oh, this is really fun from the get go, because like you think that like it's gonna be a really dark story, and then it's like, no, let's just sit around and dry our jellyfish and not jelly, our jelly slimes and how to cook a scorpion.
I do like in that first chapter when he's just like, when they're like, yeah, like we're gonna go with you, and Laios is like, oh man, and like puts his hands on his shoulders, like, you do know what this means, right?
Yeah. It's true.
It's so intense.
It's fun because it's like his dream.
I do really like how Laios is designed. He's very like plain in a different way somehow. He's like plain, but not like anime plain, which I kind of appreciate.
Yeah. He's not like your typical black-haired isekai protagonist.
Yeah, he's like kind of burly. He's kind of got a big nose. He's got like kind of a square head. Like he looks just like a dude, like just any old dude. But yeah, I don't know why. Remember that was one of the first things I remember.
He looks kind of like a typical like soldier, like an RPG soldier.
Yeah.
But then you learn more about him, and you're like, this man is crazy.
Yeah,
he's crazy. He's quirky.
Yeah, I guess this first chapter would be a good time to go over our four main characters. So we have like Laios, the human. I guess his class would be like a swordsman or a knight.
Yeah, warrior,
like a
I guess.
Yeah.
He's got a sword and armor.
And then Marcel. Marcel.
Yep.
And
Marcel.
The maid.
Yeah, Laios is the one whose sister got eaten by the dragon. So he wants to go get her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you have the Marcel as their mage. She's like
elf.
Yeah, elf mage. She I don't know, she doesn't like eating monsters.
Yeah, she's kind of high. She's a little bit of high strung, but she's she's nice.
Still
willing to do.
Yeah, she's very like, she's the one who immediately is the first one to be like, no, I'm going with you. Like I need to save Fallon. So she's very like gung ho.
She's kind of gay for Fallon, not gonna lie.
Yeah, you get very, very quote unquote subtle in stuff later.
Quotation mark subtle.
And then Chilchuck's their halfling thief guy who's in it for the money, but you could tell there's he cares.
Yeah, he's kind of cynical.
It's kind of like he had no reason to be there, but clearly he does. Maybe he likes them.
Yeah. And he's kind of neutral about the food thing. He's pretty like, he's not crazy about it, but he understands why they have to do it.
Yeah, there's only a few times when he's been like, ew.
Whereas like Marcel just has the best reaction. She's like, no, I don't want to eat it.
She's like, why can't we just eat normal food? And then they meet Senshi, who's just this dwarf guy who lives in the dungeon, and he's really good at cooking.
Yeah, he's like a dwarf who lives off the grid.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a homesteader.
Yeah.
His weapon is his knife and a giant what do you call it?
Like a wok.
Yeah, wok. Yeah.
He has a huge wok, and apparently we learn later it's made out of adamantium, which is like a super powerful metal.
Oh, I guess he has an axe too.
Yeah, he has an axe that's like breaking.
Yeah, and he like doesn't care about it. I think when they roast the basilic, he uses it as a spit.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does. He uses it as a spindle.
Yeah. He didn't even care. It was like, okay.
Yeah. I like that when they're done making a meal, you get like its stats.
Yeah. It's like how many calories, how much fat, calcium, iron.
Every time they created something new, I had the Zelda like
Oh
like,
yeah.
in my head. And I was like, oh my god, I gotta keep doing this.
Yes.
Why can't you cook monster parts in Legend of Zelda and make good food like this?
You only get you only make like garbage when you use
monster
parts.
I know.
They need to learn.
I know. Link, what are you doing?
Link needs Senshi.
Right, even in Red Dead Redemption 2, you can even make like bear stew or something. Like you can get more creative.
Yeah. But yeah, they make the food. Senshi agrees to go with them because he wants to eat. They make the weird hot pot thing.
Yeah, with like they take a slime and make like.
So I was like, "What is the food?" I said
like
food, and I was like scrolling to try to find it.
That is a perfect like summary of this. Like that could be the back of the book.
They make the food. You're right.
They make the food. They get the monster. They make.
He wants to eat Red Dragon, so he's like happy to go with them.
He's determined to it.
He's like, "You'll die. You'll have no nutrition. I must go."
I thought that was like the first chapter does a really good job establishing how clever it is with its monsters too, where it's like they have like or I guess it's chapter 1, when they have like the little slimes and then they like dry it out and they like it's like you can make like
it's like agar jelly.
Yeah.
And then they make they get the lobster and it's kind of, or not lobster, scorpion. And it's like lobster.
Yeah. And the walking mushrooms.
Yeah, it's like it's so funny. It's so clever because it's like technically like monsters in design really are based on like something in our world, like when fantasy authors were designing them. So it's like, like a basilisk really is just a snake and a chicken, so it tastes like a snake and a chicken. You know, it's like it's not that far fetched.
But apparently, it's more snake than chicken in this world.
They made a distinction. Like I said, the whole, like you guys mentioned, the whole ecology thing. They're like researchers have shown that
where you
if you kill the chicken, the snake still lives. So it's more of a snake than a chicken.
Yeah, and they established pretty early on that like the dungeon is just here, kind of. It's not like they live in the dungeon. It's like something that is here that people go to.
Yeah.
Well, so okay. Like... I guess we didn't talk about the whole backstory in the prologue, but the dungeon appeared one day out of nowhere, and this like skeletized old man like climbs up. And it's like, if you can. It's in the prologue. It's in like chapter 0.
Yeah,
it felt like gold.
I wasn't sure when I forgot they explained at the beginning. Yeah,
and he's like, if you are able to like conquer the master of the dungeon or like defeat the master of the dungeon, my entire kingdom shall be yours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Goldie Roger.
Find it first.
Goldie Roger.
And then he turns into dust like Goldie Roger.
Yeah, just like Goldie Roger turns into dust. He evaporates.
I don't feel so good, Luffy.
Yeah, Rayleigh, I don't feel so good.
yeah, Rayleigh.
But that is the plot of that. Damn.
It is though. Oh no. Yeah, I think because they don't show you like how the dungeon works until the second chapter, when it was like, oh, the first floor is the graveyard.
And they don't really explain the whole like resurrection stuff. They like briefly mention the first chapter when Marcel gets slime. She's like, oh, my first death was to a slime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this subtle hint that like, oh, okay, people can die in this world and come back.
Yeah, and it's not. It can be a big deal, but it's not always a big deal.
Yeah, it's not like, really explained until way later.
Yeah.
Unless you talk to Senshi, where he's like, guys, you know, like coming back to life is just kind of not natural, right?
I love. We'll get into that. I love the way they write Senshi with that stuff. His like relationship with magic is so cool. Like I don't know why.
That's the other thing. I think like I like how all the characters have strengths and weaknesses. Like Laios is super good at like understanding monsters, but he's really bad at understanding people.
Yeah, he is.
And Chilchuck is like very reasonable and stuff, but then he kind of is cowardly and doesn't want to like admit that he cares.
He's a little stubborn too.
Yeah, he has a stubborn streak. And then Marcel is like really smart and great with magic, but then she's also like super clumsy and a klutz and kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's like low. What is it? High wisdom, low intelligence.
Oh yeah.
She probably has high intelligence, low wisdom because she's like a mage.
You're right.
She's probably a wizard.
So no street smarts.
Yeah. She's book smart.
And since she's like really level-headed, level-headed, like when it comes to these things, but then very ignorant.
When there's anything magical or like ignorant of the other races.
Yeah, like no.
Right. He Senshi reminds me of like a sage or like a hermit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, he definitely is
just
a hermit.
Kind of like connects with his surroundings just because of his pure curiosity to just continue on his own studies.
In the second chapter, they encounter the man-eating plant thing.
The man-eating plants, yeah.
And I really love because like Marcel gets like trapped by it, and Laios is like, that must have felt great to be trapped by the man-eating plant.
She's like,
no. What the fuck did you just say?
What the fuck?
She has this look. Oh my god!
It's such a good reaction. That again, Ryoko Kui is so good at like reactions to things. Where it's like in anime, that'd be so easy to be like, "What the heck did you say?" Like, and it's just her just being like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah, just silent.
Oh, man, it was It got. I have to say, I know, like, oh, I forgot his name again. I know you said this.
Laios, Chilchak,
Laios, yeah.
Yeah.
I know his character is supposed to be like the humble, endearing, like klutz of a character. I did not like him at all. He is the equivalent of when you think everything's good in an episode and you had that little shit kid press the red button and then everything goes to shit and people are just like, oh, that's just him. No, you're so stupid. And
He just doesn't
like,
get it.
he does not get it. And I was just like, what the? And I'm like, and they're like, oh, Fallon, please come. Like, Lily, there was a part where he said, oh, Fallon would say what I actually mean. I'm like,
yeah,
you're bad at regulating yourself?
He's very autistic.
He's just autistic.
He just does not know. He does not understand.
I would kick him out of my party immediately.
Oh, absolutely. Like Laios, I would not. Like, he's supposed to be the party leader, but he's bad.
Occasions hid information from the party, which Kilchek did bring up later. Like, dude, you gotta tell us like this stuff, and he's just like, but I liked it, and I'm like,
I have high tolerance for Laios-like characters because I have one friend that I always play with that always plays a character like that. And you want to wring their neck, but
I feel like I appreciate Laios so much as a main character because, like, in any other fantasy series, that would not be your main character. But it's like such a refreshing take on, like, you know, I feel like every time an anime has a main character, they're really good people person. You know, it's like they're very good at like being like the hero. Yeah. But like Laios is not good at being the hero. Like, which I think
not a hero. He's not even a good person. He's just a person who cares about his sister. He's not a bad person. He's just a dude.
Like, he's just doing what he needs to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just leave him at daycare and like go off and do something else.
I'll leave Chilchuk at daycare.
Can't stand him.
But honestly, there are times where Laios's information like does save them.
It does help, yes.
Like does understand like how things
No, yeah, he's like the reason that like they get by most of the time, I feel. Like
I think it's a mix. I think like everyone's skills are really necessary and they shore up each other's weaknesses.
Yeah. That's true.
Like in these early chapters, you kind of see like Senshi being like focused on and Senshi like being proven right a lot of times when he's like, oh yeah, you could just kill the mandrakes by like cutting their heads off instead of having to pull them out. Like cut their heads off while they're still in dirt. What are you doing?
Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah.
I do like I think it's like a few chapters in, Chilchuk kind of gets a chapter where like Senshi just like doesn't give a shit about the booby traps.
Yeah.
Chilchuk has to be like, okay, you do your job, I'll do my job.
Yeah. Like, and then later on when they get to the water level, like they have to be like, okay, see, Senshi's not always right.
Yeah.
He's very smart, but he's not right at 100% of the time. And sometimes Marcel is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes like Laios gets everything wrong and he like does something that like does not benefit the party at all with the paintings.
Yeah. It's nice to like show that like, you know, it isn't that simple kind of like, you know, like there are things that these characters will do wrong and some things that they'll do right. And like, you know, sometimes they like their ideologies and what they, you know, what they prioritize will be the answer and sometimes it won't. So
yeah.
Right. That is true.
I love Chilchuk.
Yeah, I like Chilchuk.
Oh, Marcel.
I mean, I just like all of the characters.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the whole cast. By the end of the series, it's one of the best ensembles like in manga period for me. So like, it's so good.
Because like even in the third chapter, like when they're fighting the cockatrice thing, and like Laios is like he's like the meat tank. Like he can scare the cockatrice, and so they can ultimately kill it. Like you gotta have a big dude like that.
It's so good in the anime. He comes out and goes.
Yeah, you gotta have a guy like that, and it's fun. Yeah. It's just really stupid.
He just like does not give a fuck about like how he looks, and he's just like, let me have him.
I hope he has. You don't have to tell me anything, but like I hope he has some form of growth. I don't care if it's like the hexagonal arrangement like they show with the food and the nutrition and the calcium and stuff like that. I don't care if it's skewed in one way. I just hope there is like systematic growth.
Yeah. I will say Laios does have growth. We've seen growth already happen with Chilchuk at the very end of like where we read, and we've seen growth with Senshi being able to accept a little bit more magic into his life, and Marcel being able to eat monsters. But all the characters do grow. I think actually Chilchuk might be the one who grows the least.
He's like
I
middle-aged.
think Marcel is probably the most growth.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Either way, they all have good character arcs. They understand things that they didn't understand in the beginning by the end, which is cool.
Yeah. Actually, just a couple chapters after that's where we read. You have Laios getting some reality checks.
Good.
Oh, gosh. Good.
He just slap in the face.
Yeah.
Well, he did get his.
To be fair, like Marcel smacks him in the face quite a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
And Chilchuk, they're all like, "Dude, what are you doing?
Dude, shut up."
She is my favorite character so far.
I feel like I am able to forgive Laios' mistakes more because in world they call him out on it too. They're like, what are you talking about? I hate it when like there's a series where like a character does something totally assholey and no one calls him out, and it's just like, am I just supposed to accept that he's just like this and this is just what the
100%. Like I enjoy. There are certain stories out there where a character will be put into like a novel or a book, and then he's like, all right, well, let me take advantage of like, you know, the benefits that the main character was supposed to get, and then like later on you figure out that what the main character was doing was actually kind of like creepy or rude or just like not what actually the MC sounds like, and they're like, do you realize you actually sound like this dumb, or you're being like this irrational? I like accountability.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot.
A lot of fantasy stories in anime don't do that, unfortunately, where it's like the main character, like Mr. Kirito, sort of online, doesn't do a damn thing wrong in his damn life. He's just like the coolest guy alive all the time.
Whereas Laios is specifically built to be not cool. He is supposed to be like the weird boy who is hyper fixated on eating monsters. He just like, we forgot to mention, he has had this like childhood dream of eating monsters his whole life, and now he finally gets it. They're like, do you even want to save your sister? We're like, what are you doing?
He's like, yeah, boy. Oh, it's silly.
He's like, yeah, but like hot pot, you know,
like, I've never told you guys what
creepy mandrake heads.
I love monsters so much.
You should have turned around when he pulled out his almanac of eating monsters.
Oh yeah, and Chilchuk and Marcel are just like, what the fuck is this?
Like,
why are there so many bookmarks?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And even it takes Marcel a long time to be like okay with eating the food, even though she eats it because like she needs to live. But like...
yeah, and even though she finds like the first few delicious, she complains a lot. She's like, I don't want to eat the man-eating plants.
What a baby!
I love Marcel.
Right, I do really like the where is it? Oh no, we're not there yet. They have like the moment. Where the heck? I'm like scrolling through. They make kakiyage, just like fried veggies together.
Oh yeah.
That looks so good.
After the whole like, it just
because they find oil in the.
They find oil
in the fire trap.
They find like cooking oil in the fire trap.
Yeah, until it's like, I don't want to use the traps for food, but they do anyway.
Yeah.
It's so smart. He like cuts the piece of meat using the like booby trap with like the big like guillotine. Like, that's so cool.
It's very creative. It's neat.
I definitely related to Senshi a lot. Besides having the beard, just like MacGyvering things around and be like, yeah, it kind of works.
Yeah, you gotta live. He's living off the land, you know.
Living off the land, just being like, well, I kind of want to get this, so how do I make it work? And he just kind of goes with it. He's like, come on, you're like, you don't know until you find out. I'm very much like, if I want to figure it out, I will just like do it myself.
I may have chosen our frog suits based on who I associated with each other.
Oh no, I'm autistic. Whatever.
I guess that means you're stuck with Laios, Trips.
That's fine.
I don't hate you, Trips. It's okay.
You are our leader after all.
You communicate and don't tell me you want to eat monsters.
That's true.
I don't know if Laios could like message everyone and be like, hey, let's get together.
Yeah, he'd forget. He'd just be like,
oh well,
maybe
okay,
Trips is Fallon then.
No, I mean I don't know. Fallon, very well.
I feel very Marcel.
I was gonna say you can be the old gnome guy.
Okay. No, I'm literally fine with being biased. I don't mind at all.
Okay.
I really don't mind him. I think he's
great.
He's endearing.
Yeah.
I really liked the living armor. I thought that was one of the best ideas so far.
Oh yeah. Do you want to
that was
explain the
probably
living
like the
armor?
part that really sold me on the series. When I read that chapter, I was like, "Oh, this is so fun! Like, this is so great!"
Right. Yeah, like he it's like they go into this hallway and they have like Laios has an experience with these like living armor before, like he knows how to like handle them, but they're not acting like they usually do. Like they're all moving, and they thought that only one would move, or like if they're provoked normally. And, it's like a whole ordeal, right? But eventually he like opens up to a different room, and there's like a special armor like
Oh, yes,
living
yeah.
armor guy. It has like he realizes that there's like an egg sac on it, and he's like, oh my god, they're alive, because he's real sad because everyone's telling him you can't eat that.
Yeah.
But then he figures it out basically. So he's smart sometimes.
Yeah, they find out that the living armor is actually just like little colonies of mollusks that are
Yeah.
holding hands inside of the armor.
Which is like the coolest explanation to living armor ever.
Yeah, then
Like, I
they're
love
all
it.
like conjoined together. They all hold
It's so
hands.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he
They
like
act like
splits
muscles.
apart the armor, and there's like little thing in there. I'm like, that's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
holy
They're
shit.
like a little mollusk.
Yeah, and
So creative.
it was cool, and I think they're kind of cute because I just like mollusks and stuff like that.
They're kind of like slugs a little bit.
They're a little bit like
Yeah.
slugs. They're like slug adjacent.
Slugadelic.
Yeah, and they make like casserole and stir fry with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or like grilled
Grilled, yeah.
clams. Yeah.
Kaki
They
fry.
grilled it in the armor.
Yes. Yeah, they make Laios try it first because they're like, you're the one that wanted
Yeah,
to
they're
eat
like
it so
staring
bad.
at him like, yeah, like this is on you, man.
But it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
I guess it probably just taste like mollusks, but it's like a
His
little
sword
iron.
does break though, but then he gets one of the living armor swords. And it has a
Yeah,
little living
he
armor
takes it. It
guy
has
in
little like tentacle things,
Yeah.
feelers that come out.
Kensuke.
Kensuke, it's so
and he
funny.
feels guilty because his friends judged him for being weird, so he doesn't want to say anything to them.
Yeah, he doesn't want to tell them that he's taking on a living armor sword.
Yeah.
So shitty of them.
How dare they judge him? I guess I'll be his
Also,
defender.
you should have told them.
He should have told them, yes.
Yeah.
200%.
I don't blame it.
I get it. But he's just
But, like-
the sword's just a little guy.
I know. I mean, like, look, I appreciate what the sword was doing, even if it did kind of like jump around a bit when it came into like stronger monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I like that he was just a little dude, a little guyitis. But like, the guy's an adult. You know what I mean? Like, you can.
He's like 20.
I think that's just part of like his immaturity. But he just kind of
Yeah.
thinks that like, okay, taken away like a toy.
Mhm.
I'm like, dude, you're 20.
Maybe, but I
Yeah.
think they would have let him keep it anyway because it's like he needs a weapon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that.
But
he
they
made
would have
the
probably made him
Kensuke.
kill. They may have killed the monster inside and just like let him take the sword.
Like Kensuke is like the equivalent of like Sword of Fur or something like that.
Yeah, it's like Sword Bob.
Sword Bob, yeah, it's so funny. I like all the miscellaneous monster tales too. I loved all of it. It's so good.
Yeah, they get into like the biology.
Extra
of all these
info.
things.
Yeah.
Like that's something you don't get in the anime.
Yeah, for sure. You didn't. I mean, sometimes I realize that they mention it occasionally, like some of the extra info, but it's not like its own thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then there's ghosts, and they make ghost ice cream sorbet.
Oh yeah, there's sorbet.
Wait, you forgot the golems.
Oh, right,
They
the
make
golems are first. You're right, golems.
Yeah, they
are
get all the
first.
veggies from the golems, and then they made the oryx, which
Yeah.
is actually kind
Another
of important.
smart thing. The golems are made of dirt, so he uses them for
Yeah,
soil,
it's so
and he
smart.
like,
Yeah.
God.
I think there was maybe one thing out of all the dishes that I did not like the look of, and I think that was maybe the mollusks.
Oh,
I forgot what
Yeah.
they made. It was like some sort of like jelly or
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. I wish I took a screenshot of it. The only screenshot I actually have
What was?
is,
Wait, was it the
of-
living armor one? I
it
think
was
it's
the
surviving.
living armor with well the picture I actually have is the chapter from the living armor. It's Marcel in the living armor.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Because I was just like, woman in armor, awesome.
Mhm.
One man
Oh, I'm
army.
trying to think. I gotta find those dishes.
I only took one screenshot too. I'll find it.
Honestly, that cabbage dish looked really good.
Yeah, the cabbage just looked
I imagine
really
it
good.
tastes like vegetable soup or something.
Yeah, but
Especially with fresh veggies.
I've like really come around to cabbage though. I'm like, wow, cabbage is great.
Yeah. Oh my
I
gosh,
used to not
like
like
cabbage
it.
with like bacon is so good.
I like it like on if you like grill it actually. I think it's really good.
Oh, the grilled living armor.
Yeah.
Because I'm not really a big fan of like, I mean, it's like a local thing around where I am, and I'm not a big fan, so it just did not look appetizing at all.
Well, the way they described it was pretty nasty. They said it's like musky.
Yeah, it might not taste
like
that good.
It has like the taste of the armor still. Like it's kind of got that irony.
I think that was
like,
only the helmet
taste.
one though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, still.
It was the helmet, and
said,
they had
tasted more like
the
a mushroom.
stir fry and living armor soup, and I'm like, it did not sound good whatsoever.
I hate it.
I would still try it.
Yeah.
Maybe I am Laios. I'll try just about anything.
If I was that hungry, if I was in a dungeon, I would try anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. But yeah, you're right. The cabbage does look super good.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get captured by the orcs, because they like go to try to sell the vegetables at like a seedy bar of people that like can't go back above ground. But they get raided by the orcs, and then the orcs recognize Senshi because I keep trades with them. Because he's Senshi.
Yeah.
And
he lives off the grid.
They put them in like a little play pen. It's what it looks like. And he's just making sourdough bread.
I think it's their chicken pen.
Oh, it's the chicken pen. Yeah, that makes me way
worse. The orcs
sense.
have like moved up levels now and need supplies because the red dragon is on the move down where they usually live.
That does make sense. I was just like, what is this, Rugrats? I don't know why.
Yeah, but it's like, it's cool because it's like the monsters and people get displaced depending on what's in the dungeon.
I don't know if
it makes the world feel like alive.
It does make the world feel alive. That's true.
Yeah.
And he makes bread. And
yes,
I like the entire time, like Marcia's having like this conversation with the orc, and they're super butting heads. But since she's just kind of like he's cooling them down the whole time through the bread
Worth noting
process.
that they're butting heads for racial issues.
Racial issues, yes.
Yeah. Marcel's a little
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when she has that like the paralysis temporarily, just eyes just going crazy.
Oh yeah, we skipped that part with the mandrake. Yeah.
Yeah, she has the paralysis. Yeah, Ariel mentioned it a while ago.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It's so good. Marcel just has the best reactions. She has the best faces out of everyone in the series.
But yeah.
Senshi has like one face.
That's okay.
But that's okay.
I do like they emote him in the subtlest ways possible. It's awesome. Like they'll just make his like eyes slightly
squinty.
Yeah, slightly squinty, you can slightly see his eyebrows for like a little bit of it. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. I think this is like the second or time we hear again about the crazed magician too. That's like displaced all the orcs because the red dragon's on the move.
Yeah. I forgot that's out early.
And then we also have like a small interlude where we meet Kabru and his party.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know.
And Kabru is more like the typical like shonen protagonist. But then the way the manga treats him is like, wow, if there was like a guy like this, he'd be like a really manipulative like sociopath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd also suck at being in a dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does kind of suck, huh?
Because he's very like black and white morality, and he's like, oh my god, like we found treasure, and then turns out to be treasure bugs, and they all die.
Yeah, then they all die, or I guess they weren't dead; they were just like paralyzed.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody the group finds them later, all passed out, and they assume they're dead.
Yeah. And then they find these little like I think the treasure bugs are also really creative.
Yeah, I love the treasure bugs. It's a really cool creature. I would not eat bugs. I'm sorry. I would have Marcia's reaction. It's the only thing I'm like, I don't think I can eat.
Oh yeah, I would not eat the centipede.
I can't eat
that looked nasty. I'd try the jelly. The jelly, I would try in the bread.
I think the closest I've gotten out west in Portland, they had this weird ice cream shop. It was very famous, but they had like, I don't know, I forgot what the term is for like the beginner bugs, but they had essentially like critter ice cream.
Oh.
I think I've heard of that, yeah.
Rosemary, basil,
Interesting.
sorbet with like I don't know if it was like maggots or.
Did Senshi make that?
Probably mealworms.
Mealworms,
apparently
perhaps.
taste similar to nuts. I would try mealworm.
Probably would.
Yeah.
I think the idea would be pretty gross to me. I just like wouldn't be able to get over that.
But for like mealworm, I would treat it like kind of like little crayfish. Like that one.
It had no taste. It was just crunchy.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about like crayfish either, so
Yeah.
I get it. It's fine.
a lot of fish, like stuff like that. I just kind of feel like I'm eating sea bugs, so like I don't like it too much either.
Sea bugs.
So you wouldn't eat this?
I love
the
sea bugs. I
coins?
love crabs and lobsters.
So I'm not crazy about crab or lobster. I don't know something so weird
Yeah.
about it, especially when you eat like people eat crab like from the crab itself. Yeah, I'm
Wow,
always
it looks like you're really Marcial after all, huh?
I know.
And I'm the Senshi.
It's all
We're
right.
all wrong. Oh, this chapter does have one of my favorite gags though. Like after they finish like studying the treasure bugs and cooking them up, Chilchuk's like, okay, what do we do with the inedible ones?
Oh my
It's
god!
just like you can throw them away. After all,
Oh,
you can't
yeah,
eat real
it's like-
treasure after like
God.
Chilchuk has already thrown it away.
Yeah.
That's so good.
It's
Such a
like,
good
oh my
character
God.
moment for Senshi. It's
There's-
just like shows you exactly what he prioritizes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is so undwarf. Like he does not prioritize the treasure. He prioritizes the
Also
food.
funny that Chilchuk and Marcial aren't thinking those are real gemstones. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
It's
so
like, oh, these are
distracted by the fact
inedible.
that this was like food for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
It's like that's such a fun idea.
Oh,
yeah.
it's such a layered joke. It's so good.
Yeah, it's great. It was lovely, and they're like, "Oh my god, we just lost all that money. God damn it."
Yeah.
Oh well.
We could use it to buy real food. Damn it.
Oh wow. It was fun. Oh, now it's. Oh, I got confused by the chapters around. Now it's.
And
Ghost
now it's
Sorbet.
Ghosty time. Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, this is really creative too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a smart idea.
Senshi
really
like mixes
smart.
together all these ingredients to make like holy water to like exorcise the ghosts.
Yeah.
But it turns out to just be like sorbet ingredients.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
And
'cause
instead of,
he makes
like-
like a little holy lantern thing, it just starts smacking all the ghosts. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
because like the ghosts go through the glass anyway, so they'll touch the holy water.
Yeah.
But it ends up being like they end up like doing this, and it ends up turning the holy water and making it cold because of all the ghost spirits.
Yeah. The ghost
So they
legs.
make ice cream. It's so
Exactly.
Because
good.
it gets all shaken up. That's
I
basically
know.
how you make sorbet or ice cream anyway.
I know. It's so creative.
Oh, it's fun. It's very
Genius.
fun.
Yeah,
There
I do like the idea that like the spirits are like cold, you know, like they're
Yeah.
like what a spirit is in fantasy. That's like, really neat.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know, I like this solution a lot. I wasn't sure how ghosts would be handled because I know ghosts are usually a really big problem for like low level adventures in tabletop games because they usually can only be hit with like magic. But you know, we got Senshi here. We got no problems.
Yeah. And also, like, we
It's very
can't really
creative.
eat the ghosts, so we
Yeah.
turn them into ice cream.
Yeah, how are you gonna eat a ghost? That was also a
Yeah.
thought I
Not
had.
their safety, not like, wow, I can't believe you can make holy water. No, it's how can we eat the ghost?
How do we
Like,
eat them?
that's a real problem.
Yeah, exactly. Not how we beat the ghosts. How do we eat the ghosts?
Trying to ward off evil. Sorbet. Exorcism sorbet. I want to have that.
Mhm.
It was very fun. And there is like, because like the ghosts make you think sad thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Um,
They like try to possess you and stuff.
yeah, like Laios is sad about like not saving Fallon for like a little bit, but it's okay because then she beats her in the face. It's not her, but the memory
Yeah, the
of her.
ghost. Yeah. Mhm.
It's like LaCroix essence of ghosts. No.
Hint of a ghoul.
But yeah, that was a very fun chapter in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
that
all
was
pretty
cool.
fun actually, but what is this one? Oh, then Laios decides to try to eat the food in the pictures,
Yeah.
and
Yep,
they like help
yeah.
him do it.
Mario
This is like-
64's.
Yeah. It's like where we get some world building, but we don't get any food.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
get any food. It's just world building on the Del Gal
Mhm.
Kingdom? Question mark, and the crazed magician's
Yeah.
history.
It's the
feel like-
Golden Kingdom, and the
Golden
king
Kingdom.
is called
Okay,
Dalgal.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, sorry.
Yeah, he like
And-
eats the food, then when he comes out, he's still hungry.
Yeah, because you can't eat food in fake world, apparently. I don't know.
But you do see like the whole like birth and life of King Delgal, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And we meet the lunatic magician for the first time. And he's like this elf. So I will say, I'm not sure if they've covered this in the series yet, but there's like dark-skinned elves are not dark elves in that series. When they say dark elf, they mean like an elf that does black magic.
Yeah. I actually, they haven't said it, but I just kind of assumed as much.
Yeah. And like, just like how humans are still human, even if they have different skin colors. Elves are still elves, no matter what skin color they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, the magician is creepy and is like, "Why are you here? What are you doing here? What do you want?"
Seriously, they had no chill whatsoever.
Yeah, no chill.
Yeah, they have like the creepy, like their hair is all raising up type of thing.
Yeah.
And Laios is like, get me out of here.
And I also believe like the lunatic magician's gender is never specified. So
Really?
I don't think so. They use like he and him sometimes, but I know in Japanese those are like.
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah,
I think there might have been like translation issues because there were a couple of panels I saw where it said she.
Yeah, I saw
and
she.
then people kept referring to interviews where they confirmed it was a he him.
Oh.
But I think I'm just going straight down the middle.
Probably in Japanese, they like never say it. Because why would they? Like, it's not a thing. It's not commonly said.
I think it makes it more interesting if they are like non-binary or androgynous.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, I just was like, I don't know, they're just the crazy magician. They don't need a gender. Their gender's crazy, apparently.
Yeah.
The
gender is crazy and my sexuality is Delgal, apparently.
Delgal. Oh no. Yeah, we have a chill check episode or chapter after that with the mimic.
Oh, this is so cool too because they explain how like the treasure bugs like aren't eaten by the mimics. The treasure bugs sneak into the shell that the mimic is hiding in.
Yeah, and then they
eat the mimic and like lay their eggs, and then that's why there's little like bits of treasure inside of the mimic shells, inside of the treasure chests. It's like that's so genius.
The mimic is scary though.
Yeah,
not as scary as the one from Dark Souls 3, but
that's true. This one's more like a hermit crab.
Yeah, it's like a hermit crab type of thing. But yeah, I guess I liked to see how he used the traps to his advantage and how he could get out.
And how he has so many trust issues with boxes and people.
Yeah, it's like if you had just brought Marcel with you, would have been okay.
Or if you had just waited, because Marcel did actually like come try to find him.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like, I will come with you. And he was like, no.
Yeah.
No. So, yeah. I think that's good.
And cook it. And it's a crab.
Cook it. And then it's just a boiled mimic.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if I would eat that. But, maybe. If I was starving.
I'd eat it. It looks like crab.
Yeah. It's very different than, like, I guess it's not different from, like, a generic fantasy, but it's different from my idea of what a mimic is, so I don't know. It's like I'm having a brain disconnect. Yeah.
It's, like, scarier than a normal mimic.
It's scary.
With having a creature be the mimic.
Yeah. Yeah. You get a lot of protein from it, though, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I guess.
What about those macros?
Yeah, I got those
macros. Another thing I really like is that when they make food, they carry it over to the next episode or the next chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they have like extra giant bat meat, they use in the kakiage.
Yeah, they'll use it later on.
Or when they have like extra veggies, or like if they have like leftover bugs, they'll use it with the bread that they got before.
Yeah. They'll keep. It's like there's like an inventory being keeping track.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's showing that they like make use of the monsters they kill. It's not just like, oh, that episode's over. That stuff they had before, yeah, it's gone. They ate it all.
Right. In the next chapter, we learn that Senchi's really stinky.
He's so stinky. He's never taken a bath in his life.
I always thought this was a cool piece of lore too, that Marcel talks about how like doing her hair is important so her magic can work better on herself.
Yeah, yeah, it's
And she was like,
interesting.
"Oh, with your hair, since it's all fucked up, it's so greasy and gross and like thick that I probably couldn't even like use magic on you."
And then she can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned that literally he is too stinky to use magic, and he throws like a temper tantrum, which I think is really
Yeah.
funny.
So it's like we show like his weaknesses now.
Yeah, like
yeah,
when
he
they're,
really
when
doesn't
they're
like
like,
magic.
like you said, he has very subtle like facial expressions. Like whenever they're like, "Let's wash your hair," he's like side eyeing them the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want
Center
that.
eyes, yeah.
I also love like I meant to mention this before when Marcel got slimed and tentacled, but like they make it a point to like not make those scenes lewd. Like it's not
Oh, yeah.
sexualized.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Whereas
This,
you know in another series by a different author, like if a girl got like caught by like a man-eating plant, they would like have full page spread of like
yeah, the
zoom
women
on
in this
that.
series have like negative fan service. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then all the fan service goes to Senshi. He
Yeah,
has like all the fan
Senshi.
shots.
There is one chapter cover that is so insanely horny for Senshi that I'm like, oh my god,
That's
like this
hilarious.
is not a coincidence. Like,
It's so
Yeah.
funny. Negative fan service, but all the fans.
It's better in the anime too. Like they like go all out and they're like, yes, give me that Senshi
Yeah.
Yeah,
panty
they're
shot.
like, you better look at his underwear. You better.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, Senshi has a temper tantrum about magic. It's really silly.
Yeah.
He's
Because
been
this
so
level is
chill
like
the
full
whole
of water
time.
and they need to cross the water, but in order to do that without like getting caught by all the underwater monsters, they need water walk to walk across the water.
He's like, no, I got my Kelpie friend. She'll help me.
Mhm.
It's fine. But then the Kelpie tries to kill him.
Yeah.
Like to drown him underwater.
Mhm.
And Laios goes and saves him.
Yeah, and they do kill the Kelpie. I don't know if I would eat this though. It's like a horse, and
like
I'm
a
not
horse.
super into eating horse.
yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
Yeah.
I've had horse sashimi before, and it was okay, I guess. But
Yeah, I guess
I don't
this is
think I
even
really
more
have it
horse
again.
sashimi because it's like horse fish,
yeah, it was like
and it was
weird.
evil. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Italy, they make it into you put in, for some reason they like to putting it on top of greens a lot. So they made one in like like literally like as fine as like a hair. And put it over salads.
Interesting.
Right. I have
Yeah.
heard
It's just
that
like
too.
not. I guess as an American, it's just not a thing in my
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah, I got introduced it or offered it in Japan. I was like, yeah, I guess, but I don't think I would
Yeah, it's
just be
pretty
like,
common
yeah,
in
I'll
like
eat it.
Europe and Asia.
Yeah.
No, definitely not like ordering it every other day. You know, not going to the produce section for that.
Yeah.
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 But I feel like it would be pretty gamey. Like I'm not even into
It
like eating
wasn't.
goat.
The
Oh,
sashimi,
really?
it tasted kind of like fish. It was weird.
Weird.
It was weird because I was expecting it to taste like meat because it looks like beef, but it actually had much more of like a swordfish like flavor.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Maybe I will try it
It
at
was
some point
weird.
then.
It was
Just for once. Oh, they do use the fat from the kelpie too to make soap.
To make soap, and then they can make Senshi less stinky.
Because Senshi like didn't like magic because like, oh, you're just taking the easy way out. Marcel's like, I have to do like a lot of studying and a lot of effort. This magic, right?
Yeah, I had to go to school for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he looks very silly without his poofy beard and hair.
Yeah.
And then he turns into it like a sheep.
Yeah. And then he also says like, I think I got a little soap in my eyes.
Oh.
It feels pretty nice to walk on water with magic.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they can walk on the water. Hooray! 2 volumes down. Alright. Sorry. My thing broke. Yeah, I've never seen any of the cover art or anything either, and it's just fun. It's just fun to see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chapter covers are so cute.
They're so cute. They're so fun. I like that. So is the dog person in Kaburu's party at like a kobold?
Yeah,
Okay.
so in this world, kobolds are dog
They're
people,
doggies. Well,
apparently.
sometimes they're dog people. It depends on the world.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like I know in like World of Warcraft, they're like rats, and in
Yeah.
D&D, they're lizards.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're lizards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind that they're dogs.
I definitely read over that. I did not expect a dog to be a cobalt.
Yeah. I don't think they've said it yet. I think, or maybe they did. I read it somewhere probably.
I think they did say it because when they first find them on the ghost floor, Laios is like, "Whoa, they got a kobold in the party." Cool.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I did read it then. There's so much information that's like cleverly snuck in everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it never feels like didactic. It's very natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty natural. So in the beginning chapter in volume 3, Kabru is like the party's like not brought back to life. They're just like woken up.
Yeah, but then the people say that they got revived, so they pay the fee.
So they have to pay the fee. And they like know because...
And for some reason, Kabru and his group decide to keep going down, even though they suck.
I was laughing. I'm like, I can't wait for him to fall on its ass again.
Yep.
Yeah, they do. They get like murdered by the fish people, by
like
the mermen. Yeah.
Oh
no, they go down because they were like, "Oh my god, someone stole our treasure."
Yeah, they're
they got killed by the treasure bugs the last time. Or not.
Yeah, they think somebody. Yeah, they think somebody stole their stuff.
Yeah.
They're so stupid.
They're so dumb.
Yeah, they kind of suck.
They die again.
Yeah, you even have like the girl in their party, the mage girl is like the tsundere, like shonen deuteragonist or shonen like love interest kind of character.
Yeah, classic like secondary to the
isekai
guy. Yeah. So that part is so funny. So yeah, they meet the sirens, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah, and they also meet the like mermaid, like the other
fishman,
like first fishman. Yeah, Laios is like debating on eating it, or it doesn't even say anything. Chilchek's like, nope,
no, we're not doing that.
He's like, but why though? But they're more fish than human though.
Yeah, I think that's what Laios says is like, as species, they're even less related to humans than cows or pigs, and he just stops for a second. He's like, nope.
I have my limits, dude.
That's such a God. She's so good at writing these characters. Like, it feels wrong, and Laios is like, feels wrong, and he's like, I see. He's like, just
literally, that's the most poignant. Like, he doesn't have the EQ whatsoever. I'm just like,
yeah.
He just doesn't have. He just doesn't understand the like. He's like doesn't understand the human emotion part, which is like so real. It's like.
He's high intelligence and like
negative
like 2 charisma. He has no charisma.
No charisma. No
I thought that was so funny when he's like, he just takes like the hair, so it's like the seaweed, and he's like, it's just the hair, like it's basically just they use it as camouflage.
It's just plants, okay.
And he's like, does this feel too wrong? Chilchek's like, Jesus fucking Christ, like fine. He just smiles.
But then they find out that the fishermen store their eggs in the hair.
Yep.
And Chilchek's like, wait, did we just eat their babies?
I'm gonna hurl. Yeah.
And then Marcial's like, oh, it tastes so good. There's these little popping things in here. Delicious.
Oh no.
We're like,
Yeah. I also like that Laios just makes the sirens, or they're just like, ew, gross.
Yeah, he sings along.
He's trying to sing with them.
Oh yeah. That's such a good way to like deal with a siren. Just like sing worse than them, louder than them, and they'll just be like, what the fuck?
What? Oh, bye.
And Laios is like, oh, but I even took the time to learn all the lyrics, though.
Yeah.
Too bad. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And the next chapter, they're fighting like fly fish things, and Marcel just like explodes them, and Senchi's like, "Fuck! What the hell?" He gets really pissed because he's just destroying the ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's so real. You get like a real damn good panty shot of Senshi in this chapter. God damn. It's like from under the water.
Oh, it's true, you do. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but then the Kraken.
And then for the giant squid, right?
Yeah, there's a big
it's
squid.
Kraken squid. Is
it's
a squid always? Is a Kraken always a squid, or is it an octopus?
Usually it's an octopus, but I think this one is a squid. Right?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's something in between. It doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's honestly more of a cuttlefish.
Yeah.
It has the flappies, like in the pointy head, like a squid, but it doesn't have the like longer, like tentacles.
Yeah.
Like a squid. So.
I do like how they eat the squid and they cut it into like a little like 1x1 Lego brick.
Yes,
So
yes.
funny. 1x1 Lego brick. And they like honestly, Marcel like thinking to kill it by casting water walk on it was so fun. Like DM would never allow that. That's so good.
Yeah, DM would the DM would allow it, but would be like smirk, like they're gonna have to roll really well for this,
right.
and then they roll like perfectly, and it's like okay, well.
And Senchi's like proficiency in cooking lets him like identify the weak spot to kill it instantly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like classic like D&D scenario where like it's like, can I roll for this? Like sure, and then the person's like, oh, can I help with this proficiency? And the DM's like, sure. It's just like
yeah.
I also like how in the anime they show that the Kraken loses color when it dies, which is exactly what happens when you kill it in real life.
Oh yeah.
It's true.
All those like color cells, chromatophores, like disperse.
Yeah.
He eats the raw squid, and he's like, it stinks.
Like it's terrible. He's so sad that it like doesn't taste good.
Yeah. And Marcel is like, wait, but like squid tastes good, like regular squid tastes good. Like I've had like calamari and stuff.
Didn't he eat a parasite too?
Yeah, he's so gross. Like, bro, why would you eat a parasite, you dumbass?
Well, they all ate the parasite. It's basically an eel. Yeah, they cook it like how they barbecue eel in Japan.
That's true.
Which looks really good and really delicious. But Laios ate it fucking raw.
Yeah, don't eat it raw.
And he got a parasite in the parasite.
Well. If it isn't the consequences of our actions.
I know.
So funny. He's like sitting. Yeah, she keeps like giving him little like spells, like little healing spells.
In the middle of the night.
Really
like,
in pain.
Yeah, and then I like how like Senchi's like, oh, we killed the Kraken, and now the little fish are able to eat it. And then the medium monsters will slowly return. And we were all part of the ecosystem all along.
Yeah. It's all
and then it just says, Laios wanted to say something, but it was an excruciating pain.
Yeah, I love that.
And then he swore he would never eat raw parasite again. I'm like, why would you eat that in the first place, dude?
Yeah.
Ugh.
And I think, I don't know if you guys saw this extra chapter, but there's an extra chapter where it talks about like, oh, like, what are these? And like Laios picks one up. And it's like the, Kraken's like spermatophore.
Oh yeah, I did see that. And it's just like
it like shoots a sperm into his like head. And he's like, I freaking hate cephalopods. I never want to eat one again.
He hates them. Oh well.
It's his weakness. He doesn't like the tentacles.
That's okay.
Okay. A king for everyone.
He can't all be perfect.
King for everyone. Yeah.
Do you mind if I take a break really quick?
Yes, we can take a break.
I have to restart my computer.
No problem. It's a good spot. We can take a small break. We will join back in a few minutes. I'm gonna go get some water.
Go get a snack.
Go get yourself some dungeon meshi.
Yeah, go get yourself some cooked armor.
Yeah. Some cooked parasite.
Yum.
See you all in a minute.
All right, I'll be back.
Bye. Hello, we have returned. Welcome. I hope you all have a snack on hand. If you want to share, pop off in the chat. Otherwise, I guess we can talk more about dungeon meshi. Like we should. Like that's what we're here to do. Spam egg musubi. Woo!
Yay!
Very cool.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, I love spam musubi. I haven't made it in a long time.
I wrapped it in plastic so it actually stayed together for once.
Yeah, like yesterday. Woo!
Nice.
That's awesome.
I have one
Spam is so good.
What's it called? I have one of the molds in my Amazon cart. I keep forgetting to buy it.
The musubi molds?
Oh, no, you don't need it. You don't need the musubi mold. Just use the can the spam came in. The molds are all high.
You really can just use.
Yeah, just put plastic wrap inside the mold, the can. Or the can.
I can finesse with a knife. Cans, for some reason, just like, it always gets stuck. And I always get problems, and sometimes
no, you put the plastic wrap in it, and you just pull the plastic wrap out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe it'll work then.
Yeah.
I've been making like, just when we have like a thing of spam, I'll just like cook the spam and make it over rice with pineapple. It's really good.
Ooh, tasty.
Kind of fitting for Dungeon Meshi, because we're eating stuff that could also eat you.
I don't know how much Senshi would like spam. I don't know if he'd be into that.
Pineapple.
The pineapple.
Oh no, Senju would absolutely hate the spam.
Mm-hmm.
He probably would hate the spam.
Like he was already like making fun of people who were being like, oh, "These adventurers these days, all they bring is like dried fruits and salted pork. They don't care about their nutrition."
What losers? Yeah. It's true.
He's like,
even when it's his own food, he's like, "Oh, all we had was snacks today. We need some real vitamins."
Yeah. What
He
a
reminds me
loser.
of like,
Eat McDonald's, you idiot.
you know, they say depending on where you live, like, you know, people who live like on the East Coast are kind but not nice, and people on the West Coast are like nice but not kind. It reminds me of like your average Northeastern are going like, "Oh my God, you idiot! What are you doing?" And then literally shoves food down your throat like, "You need nutritional stuff.
Like,
why are you so dumb right now?
Eat your brains."
You guys are talking about the wrong enemy. McDonald's and Eating Brains are different enemies.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there one of those charts? Have you seen that chart that's like, like it's like about McDonald's?
Oh, it's like would buy.
Oh yeah, the McDonald's,
like,
McDonald's.
Would get black coffee.
And
we have McDonald's at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, if there's one for Dungeon Meshi, I can only imagine.
We should make one. Yeah, you should do it.
Yeah, since she's definitely we have McDonald's at home.
Yeah, it's just like we have food at home, I think.
Marcel would probably be on the McDonald's train.
Yeah.
And Chilchuk would gets black coffee and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a character we have not met yet. That would be the McDonald's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's great. Speaking of Marcel, though, this next chapter, it's Laios is sick, so we get like backstory for Marcel and Fallen. They go to magic school.
Yeah, and they're kind of gay.
They're kind of gay.
Passionately kiss.
No, they don't kiss, but they do something even bigger: is hold hands without any protection.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
Unprotected hand holding.
I do think this part is so fascinating. Remember when I read this, I was like, "This is such a big like lore drop." They're making dungeons.
Yeah, they're making
like they're learning how to make little dungeons. I was like, oh.
And they go into a little dungeon. So like the dungeon they're in right now, it's not the only dungeon. Dungeons are just a thing in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
And they're made by mages, which I think is really fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're made, and they all make one. And Arceus is really good, but Fallen's is better. Like the magic is off the charts, and our spirits are off the charts. And she says like it got that good because she got dirt, right? She got dirt from a real dungeon.
The real dungeon, yeah. A tiny little dungeon.
Yeah.
It also shows that like Fallen like understands like the spirits and like the ecosystem of the dungeon way better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she does.
And she gives off weird girl vibes.
Oh, she's just like Midwest. I grew up in the rural area vibes. Like, look at this grasshopper.
Yeah.
She does.
My brother's so cool. He does a great impression of a dog.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, she's funny. She's so cute.
She's very cute.
The way she's drawn.
I like her voice actor a lot in the anime too. She sounds so sweet. Sorry, I punched my mic.
Ugh.
The anime gets all the voices really well done.
Yeah.
I haven't really watched the dub much, but the sub is really good.
Oh, the dub. The voice for Marcel is Emily Rudd, who was the actor for Nami.
Yes, for Nami.
Yeah,
from One
I watched
Piece,
one episode of the dub and I liked it. So yeah.
I like the sub more though.
Yeah.
Marcel just sounds sillier.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. No, they're trying real hard in that Japanese dub. It's so good.
Yeah, the English dub is good too though. They got Pro ZD for Senshi, which is like perfect, and they got I think one of the guys from Smosh for Laios.
Oh really?
Yeah. What?
Not like the main Smosh dudes. But like one of the other.
I was like, who?
Yeah. No.
I literally was like, it's one of two dudes. There's no chance. I forgot that they're like a big thing.
Yeah, they're like a whole production company thing. Yeah.
Back in my day, it was two guys making stupid Pokemon videos.
I know.
Right, I know. Yeah.
So, since you guys have seen different iterations of the anime, do you feel like it's being dutifully adapted?
Yeah, I
Yes,
think it's really
absolutely.
faithful. There are
Yeah,
some
it is
details
so
that
good.
get cut off, but
It's
I
smart
think,
about it though. It's really smart
yeah.
about it.
And I think the way they animate like and draw the cooking and the like dishes, like the final product,
Yeah.
is better than you could do in a manga, just because you have like the benefit of color and animation and
Yeah, you can
everything.
see them cooking it more, which is actually kind of fun.
Right. And there are
But
some
they're both
scenes.
good. I think the manga's great too. So
Yeah, there's some scenes in the anime that are quite inspired. Like we haven't gotten to this part yet, but after they cook the undine and make beef stew out of it, there's a shot of Namari, the dwarf lady, like looking down at the stew and looks gross and nasty. And then after she tries a bite, like she opens her eyes and the soup looks entirely different now. Mm-hmm. So her perception has changed.
We've come across that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have.
Yeah, the anime is really well done, and Studio Trigger is just full of amazingly skilled.
And like the like facial expressions and the way like Marcel overreacts to things are so good.
Yeah.
And the action scenes are really well done too.
Yeah. But yeah, basically the lesbians, they sit in the cave and eat raspberries together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is just lesbian goals, sitting in a cave eating raspberries together.
And they become friends, basically, as Fallen explains how like bat poop works, turns into mana and stuff.
And soon they shall become lovers. The people, I mean, not the bat poop.
Their relationship reminds me of some like post on Tumblr I saw ages ago that's like, first we experience tragedy, then we experience gore and violence and horribleness, and then we hold hands. And then we are lesbian lovers. I'll have to find it eventually.
God. I'm just looking up gifts from the anime. Expressions are really good.
But yeah, it's cute because I guess Laios didn't realize that like the friend that Fallen made was Marcial when they were in magic school.
Oh like, yeah, and she was saying like, oh yeah, she used to talk about her friend being so cool and awesome and like hot and cool.
I didn't know it was you. And yeah, and Marcial's like, oh yeah, she bragged a lot about you too, Laios. So he does a great dog impression.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. And then they're like rejuvenated to go, well, at least Marcel is rejuvenated to go save Fallen. Except Laios is still dying of parasite.
Yeah.
That's his own fault. Yeah, and then actually at this chapter, Marcel pisses off the Undine.
Oh yes,
yeah. Who is not a lesbian, unlike Undertale.
Yeah.
It is a blob of water.
Sphere.
Yeah. And yeah, she gets really injured actually and has to use all of her mana to like try and get away.
Yeah, she pours boiling water on it and it's like, not today, and like fucks her up.
Yeah. And we also like learn like without her staff, she can still do magic, but she can't focus it.
Not as well.
Yeah.
It is fun. There's like real action. There hasn't been a ton of action, but that was like a real action scene that lasted a while. Because even like, I feel like in the anime they really dramatized the Kraken fight, but like in the manga it's just like a couple pages.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but because it's more about eating it.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the like weaker parts of the manga. Not saying it's like bad, but the manga doesn't do a lot of action scenes.
Yeah.
The few action scenes it does pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And her posing is very good.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
The story is more about like
it's definitely not.
It's just not the focus.
Yeah, it's not the focus. Yeah. It's cool though.
It's
like
fun
I
to
do
see
think
every
it's
once in a while though. Yeah.
It's a lot of like pose and then big thing happen. Like you know, it's not like there's not a lot of choreography a lot of time. It's more real than that, I guess.
Yeah.
Or it's just like people just fumbling and fighting, but it's cool. There's a few towards the end which are really good. Excuse me.
No, you're good.
I was going to mention this. I just want to mention it so I don't forget. Maybe at some point, maybe when we're done with Dungeon Meshi, instead of doing like tier list thing, we should play the Dungeon Meshi tabletop game.
There's a Dungeon Meshi tabletop game.
It's
Really?
very, very fun. Apparently, it's based on a tabletop game literally called like Monster Eater or something.
Oh, cute.
It's like, yeah, you literally, it's very fun. So it only came out in Japan, and I didn't want to have to bother buying it because it was really expensive to import.
Yeah.
So I made it. Like, I printed out all the cards and made it myself, but it's on Tabletop Simulator. That's where I got all the files. So if we all have tabletop, we can play it there.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
Okay.
I won't spoil anything about how it plays, but it's very adjacent to the series, which is cool.
I'd be happy to.
I just thought I'd bring it up so I don't forget if I don't mention it again.
We need to find someone to DM us.
Oh no, it's not that kind of tabletop. It's more just like a card. It's more just I'd say tabletop, just more like a card game. Like
card game.
like
okay.
Sorry, yeah, it's more like yeah, it's closer to.
I misunderstood.
Yeah, it's closer to like a sort of like, I don't know. It's just mostly a card game. It's mostly a card game. It's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, card and resource management game.
Okay.
Surprise.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? I mean, we don't. I don't really know if we'd have like tiers anyway. For this.
Yeah, we probably might, but either
maybe
way,
characters, but like
be a good change of pace.
Yeah, it'd be great.
There's not a lot of info about it online too, and I was like looking it up, so might be the only streamer that's ever played it.
Woo! Let's do it.
Go for like obscure world records.
Woo!
Yeah.
First one to play.
I gotta get my SEO up on obscure card games. Poor Marcia gets her ass beat and is only being given liver because it's full of nutrients.
Yeah, because she wants more blood and she's iron.
Yeah, that's such a fun idea. It's like, you have to eat blood to get your fucking energy.
Well, I think it's like, I mean, that's how it works in real life. You get more iron, but it doesn't happen instantly, and it doesn't happen instantly here either. Like she does need to be healed.
Yeah,
like she's really not any better even after she's eaten.
Yeah,
but there are people coming down the stairs, and it's people that they know one of the people.
Yeah,
in the party
that's coming down. The dwarf warrior.
I really like her design. Her like hair and everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
She definitely gives off like more like typical warrior vibes.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
And attractive, but mostly, it's just cool.
Okay, no, okay. I see. No, she is pretty hot.
Yeah, I like her. Yeah. I just think her hair is funky and fun, and what she
made her very cool looking.
Yeah. ...
in the anime. ...
But yeah, there's like a old couple of gnomes who are doing research in the dungeon, and they're little like adopted children / party members.
Yeah.
The twins, Kaka and Kiki.
Yeah, the twins.
They're cool.
Yeah.
Who I wasn't sure if they would ever say anything, but then they do later. It's okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how to feel about the gnomes at first. I thought there was going to be some weird shit going on with them. Like, they had some, like, like, they kind of have, like, a pretentious attitude, but I wasn't sure if it was just, like, there was, like, something nefarious going on. That's why they, like, adopted, orphans. It was just kind of weird. I wasn't sure how to feel, but they... Like most things in this series, I'm like surprised at how human they make everything feel, and like how like, oh no,
yeah, there's no like black and white morality in this series. It feels
like.
Yeah. And I think, oh shoot, never mind. That's not a thing. They like, I feel like the gnomes, all the races are like, they're a little antagonistic towards Marcial, because like clearly the elves are fucking things up for other people. And so she's being judged as being an elf. Even though she's not directly necessarily doing anything.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Racially profiled.
Yeah, she's being racially profiled, yeah. But she's also judging them, so like, it's a two-way street.
No one's safe.
No one's safe. But yeah, Namari's like, oh hey guys, what's up?
Yeah, you find out. It's just when do you find out that she left because of the money, right? Like,
yeah, she needed money. She was in money trouble.
Yeah. That's such a cool, like, something that, again, they just make it so real. It's just like, yeah, that's why they go. Like, it's not just some, like, a lot of people, it's not just some like noble like I want to discover adventure. It's like no, she just needs money.
Yeah,
Like,
she lost her money.
Everyone needs to live.
Yeah.
Like,
and she gets hired by these rich gnome people.
Yep. Or who also have like their goals in the dungeon is to like research the magic.
Yeah. They're researching the magic of the dungeon, and they like explain like we can't get by because of the Undine.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
and he's like, you fools! Like Undine, we gnomes have lived with nature spirits for a long time. And then Namari gets murdered by the Undine, and they're like, well, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, she unfortunately is the meat shield.
Yeah, she literally just gets like pushed in front.
The gnome man can bring her back though. He knows survival magic. But
still a little rude.
Yeah,
it's still rude.
She's like,
and you still feel the pain of dying.
Yeah, you still die.
I guess if you died like that, it'd be pretty instantaneous. You probably no pain, but like it's still scary. It's probably just like what the like. Imagine that.
Yeah, and lose some brain cells.
Maybe.
Since she's
finally lose all your brain cells for a second.
It's not normal to just bring people back to life like that, bro.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah, since she's like, it's not normal.
Yeah, it's not normal.
It isn't. Like, you're so right.
He's
like...
right. Yeah, and then it's explained that the dungeon is under a really powerful soul, and like that binds the people's souls to the bodies. So it doesn't matter. Like the soul isn't free of the dungeon.
Yeah, it's such an interesting idea to do a revival. It's like you're not even fully there. Or you're not fully gone. It's like your soul has nowhere to go. So
your soul doesn't know where to go.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. And the gnome guy hypothesizes that death is just forbidden here. So I don't know. It's just interesting. Whatever that means. And yet instead, Laios tries to help the group go like down the spiral staircase area, but they get like stuck by like creeping vines, and they're like gonna die, but it's okay because Laios just like trusts Senshi and Namari, and then they get like the shot in to save as him and Kiki are getting like eaten by the why can't I say words all of a sudden? I'm so sorry. Vines.
They get tentacled. Yeah. But again, it's not lewd. It's just like scary.
Yeah, they're just getting vined.
Yeah.
Until Senshi gets touched by one, and then it starts getting. No, I'm kidding.
It's true. Yeah. No, they let.
Yeah, Senshi gets one in his hand, and he puts it in his mouth like a banana.
Yeah.
His hand gets all swollen as he's holding it.
Yeah.
And Laios' face is all like puffy.
He grips it really hard.
Grips it really hard. It's true. It is a banana. The tentacles.
What if Ryoko Kui just like went off one chapter, just like it's like what was she doing that day?
And then Laios and Senshi kissed and made out and had butt sex.
And then the next chapter, just like none of it gets mentioned. Again.
Yeah.
Like, back to normal. It's like, oh, she just needed to be like touched that day.
She just had to do it.
Yeah.
Well, she does draw titties later, but like I feel it's not sexualized again.
No, not at all.
It's just monsters.
It's just
titties for the sake of titties.
Yeah.
The titties are literally on the cards in the card game too.
Oh dang.
There's a card game?
Can be more fair.
Oh wait,
we just talked about it. It's funny.
Yes.
It's all the
TTRPG.
dungeon it's getting to your head.
Sorry. Is a tabletop game defined by like having like DMs and stuff? I always assumed like Settlers of Catan was like a tabletop game.
Yeah,
it is, but it's not. It's not an RPG because it's not
right.
Like
TTRPGs are like
storytelling.
Okay.
I mean, you can make it a storytelling experience, but it's like by default. It's
just
not.
Talk about my day while I play it.
You play it. Board games are still tabletop games. No, you're right, Chaos. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not big on tabletop stuff, so I'm just like.
No, you're good. I think that the phrase TTRPG has just become synonymous with like Dungeons and Dragons, so people assume.
Yeah.
I don't even think you're wrong in saying TTRPG though.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, or I don't know. I don't know that.
I feel like for a card game, it's just a tabletop game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just dumb.
But yeah, everybody eats the banana, and it tastes like different things to everybody.
Yeah.
Because it has different quadrants or different flavors.
And they also just like dump it with vinegar, and like Chilcher's just like, I just did the taste of vinegar, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it just.
But Namari does help them out, or no, not yet. But like they do help out. So the
They want to capture the Undine.
Marcial.
Yeah, because Laios helped out.
Yeah, but Marcial still doesn't have any mana left.
Yeah, no mana. It's a problem.
She's gotta get an
like,
elixir.
what if I
She's gotta get an aether.
I know you can't normally buy those in stores. God.
Where's my what's it called? Soul bead and Persona or whatever.
Yeah. And I just end up hoarding them for the whole game, and I never use them. Even after the final boss, I still have a bunch.
You fool, just use Morgana and you'll replenish your SP. Easy
That's
money.
True.
Yeah.
Or just get the no SP bonus from using personas. Anyway, what are we talking about?
Marcial needs magic.
Yeah, how much
Marcial
drop the ball.
Right. And they theorize that if she drinks the Undine, that she can get her mana back. But it doesn't have. At first, Chilchuck and Laios are like, "You should go back, Marcial, because you don't have any mana. You have like anemia. You need to go back." And she's like, "No, I can't. I have to save Fallen. No." So they come up with the idea to drink the Undies, the Undines. Chaos.
The Undies.
That's what Chaos wrote.
That is a different anime?
It's a whole different thing.
Yeah, if Ryoko Kui was brave, that would be...
Oh no.
Next chapter, we fight gamer girls, and we gotta drink their gamer girl bathwater.
Oh my god.
The true villain is gamer girls. Yeah, Marcial begs Namari to come back to the party, but she doesn't agree to it.
Yeah, and she'll just like, yeah, she would lose a lot of reputation points if she did that.
Yeah. Like, it wouldn't look good for her.
Yeah, but she does at least help them catch the Undine in the adamantium pot.
Yeah, they're like leaving, and the gnome guy's like, you can go help them, without saying it outright, and so she does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they cook up the Undine and make a stew with it.
Yeah, they cook it up. They make a stew. They drink the stew. And then they make curry, right? Stew curry?
Yeah, they put like the
oh no, I guess it's just stew.
Meat and like tentacles and everything in it and make a stew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Curry isn't until later, okay?
Curry's until later, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I keep seeing pictures. On the internet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's your heart that just really wants curry.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, are we finally here? Are we finally at Frog Chapter?
Frog Chapter! I think we are.
Oh, really? All
yeah,
right.
And so then Namari heads out with
the tentacles, right? Yeah.
Yeah, chapter 21, Giant Frogs.
Mm-hmm.
They go down another spiral staircase, but it's like full of like tentacles and plants and crap.
Yeah, and giant frogs steal their weapons.
Yeah.
And the way Laios says Kensuke in the anime is so good. Like, Kensuke!
Yeah. No. I kind of like
it. Marcial gets her staff stolen. She's like, Ambrosia!
No. Yeah. It's great. And then they have to murder these frogs because they're going to kill them.
Yeah.
And Laios uses a trap, right? Or no, Chilchuck uses
the trap. No, Chilchuck uses a trap.
Yeah, sorry.
For once, like, Laios doesn't know what the biology of the frogs is, but Chilchuck notices that the frogs don't get stung by the tentacles. So he's like, okay, I'll, like, cut off some frog skin and use it as gloves.
Yeah.
Pull these tentacles out of the trap, and that way the trap can shoot the frog.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, that's genius. And then they make frog suits to pass by the, like, hallway where the staircase is full of tentacles.
Yeah, it works, even though Chilchuck gets a little bit eaten.
Yeah.
Just okay, a little.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. The frog didn't have teeth. He's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. He's alive. And yeah, his hands are okay. They make what we're wearing right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they cut up the frogs.
They cut up the
I do love how upset Marcel is about it, and like, they're like, you look so cute, like it looks great on you, and she's like, let's go, and they're like, yes, ma'am.
She gets mad. She's like, you were working so fast, I couldn't stop you.
No, yeah, she was like, I was trying to decide whether to stop you or stop Senshi from making pasta out of the tentacles. He makes like gnocchi.
And now they're all just. I love that the beard is like poking out of the frog.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. And I also love that they're just eating their pasta while walking through.
That's such a good panel.
So funny. That's the only thing I took a screenshot of. It's just so goofy.
So good. And they animated it in the anime too, and so good.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that line dubbed, the part where she's like, let's go, and he's like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's like the funniest thing in the world.
Man. It's true. She's so mad about being a cute frog, though. She doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. But yeah, they got to the 5th floor by taking the shortcut from the orcs map that they had. That they were given after making bread and making sort of friends.
Yeah.
With the orcs.
And then they find out that because they didn't have time to tan the leather, the frogs had just to them. They do get it off.
Yeah.
Chapter.
But then they're close.
We do have a chapter of Tansu and Namari and the twins going back.
Yeah, I thought that
talking
was
the
quite
politics
interesting.
world building. We finally get like a more elaborate like definition of like what death is in the dungeon.
Yeah, and there's like a map of like the island that they're on. I didn't even realize it was an island like the whole time. They probably said it, and I just didn't even.
No, I really like how small the world is in this series because it
Yeah.
makes everything feel more realistic. Where it's like, oh, they ran into Namari. It's like, well, the place isn't that big. Like,
Yeah, and they're all going to the same place. Like,
not that big. Yeah.
It also made a lot more sense when they had the side story about like what the other characters in the other party, like one of them liked. I think one of them liked Fallon, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that made a lot more sense because you're like, how do they know the main character's sister? Like that, there is no way. It's like obviously typical fantasy world. You think like big cities or big countryside.
I do think it was mentioned though, but Shuro, the guy who likes Fallon, was part of their party. He was one of the people who left.
Yeah.
At the very start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was. I think what Realm is getting at is like how do they even like get together, right?
Oh yeah.
Or am I wrong?
No, exactly. Because like in typical fantasy isekai, it's you have parties come up for a while and you try to like go from town to town to like be famous or do certain challenges, and that takes like a long time. So while you don't know the true backstory of a lot of these characters, you kind of like, how did they like them to that degree? How did they know them to such a I said the same thing, just to such a degree that there would be those sort of like feelings coming up. Besides the fact that they were in a party, because like you can be in a party and you'd be like, all right, whatever, like we did a job and you guys moved on into the world. But if the world's like that tiny, then it makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
We do get to see some of like the bigger powers in this world though. Like there's a governor of the island, but there's also like these high elves from the west who are trying to come over the dungeon and be like, the dungeon is our property now.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how it is, but like at least with Namari, like they probably just hired Namari with money.
Yeah.
Like, hey, join our party.
Yeah.
I don't know Shiro, but yeah.
Okay, one of the twins was like totally flirting with Namari though, right? Did anyone else get that sense? The girl.
They're being really nice, and it could be construed as flirting.
Just the way she's like smiling at her all the time.
Yeah.
And starting to like get close.
I don't know who I'm more jealous of.
I don't know.
I saw the side story, but I didn't see a backstory that much, so I didn't read too much into it.
Yeah. There's a side story for the
a little like show Bible or whatever they have.
Yeah.
They have like little comics for each of the characters that she wrote.
Mm.
And the one with the twins, these two twins, is so fucking cute. It is just like, it's like how they met the gnomes, and it's like,
Oh,
it is so sweet. It's like
nice. But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe she just has like those kind eyes, so it can be construed as flirting. I don't know.
But we do learn that Namari's into people with long legs.
Well,
I'm just saying.
man, she'll never go for me. I'm too short.
Yeah.
God damn it.
God
Like,
damn it! Why couldn't I be tall?
yeah, with my 5'7" self, like, fuck.
It could have been me.
It could have been me. Yeah.
Oh, long legs.
Sadly. But yeah, there's like the gnome dude. What the heck is the gnome dude's name? I don't know. He like is working. Tansu, you're right. Sorry, you said it, and I just immediately forgot it. He's like working for the mayor, right?
Yeah. He's like a consultant.
Yeah, like a consultant.
To the mayor of town. The mayor of town is kind of racist. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, and he's like, ugh, the dwarfs. Why are they helping the orcs or whatever? It's like
I like that while they're talking, they're eating though. So like we still see like the food.
Yeah, there's still food.
Important to this
Always
series.
a theme. Food is important to this series.
Yeah.
Delicious dungeon.
Delicious and dungeon.
Dungeon meshy.
Yeah.
Dungeon meshy.
And Tansu theorizes that the lunatic magician is an elf, which we kind of know that already. And
he advises that like we don't let the elves take this away because the elves clearly want this like unkillable undead magic, or like you can't die.
Yeah, that's basically exactly it. You gotta find it. As long as you have the spell, let them take the dungeon or anything they want, but we gotta have this special spell.
Yeah, that way we can have power over them.
Yeah. Yep. And they're very nice, and like they help Namari get back to
and it shows that Namari like cares about Fallon because she goes to like the local like, resurrection office, and she's like, "Have you seen this girl? Did she show up?"
They have not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how they just kind of established like she's just like Fallon was just nice. Like even if they were just coworkers, of course you like Fallon. Fallon was just nice.
Yeah.
She's a good healer. Like
if it was Laios, I don't know if she would care, but like Fallon, everyone liked Fallon.
Resurrection DMV. No. That's kind of what it is though.
Yeah. It's
like, got the body. Oh yeah, we got the body. And they like know her because she's like a healer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they go eat.
Yeah. Of course they eat. It's dungeon meshy. You gotta have meshy in every dungeon.
I was gonna say the dungeon ain't a dungeon without the meshy. So
I don't think the next chapter they eat much. They just mostly. Oh no, they do eat. They eat the
They have to eat bread, right?
Yeah, or they eat katsudon.
Katsudon?
oh yeah, that looks so good. Katsudon's the best thing ever.
Or they eat frog katsu to prepare for their fight against the dragon.
Oh yeah, yeah, they do.
So true.
Because they don't know where the dragon is, but it's important to stay fed before you fight the dragon, because that's what got them all in the situation in the first place.
Yeah. And they come up with a plan to deal with the dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we also get to see briefly, like, this is what they used to do before, like, Fallon would cast protection spells, then Narciel would explosion. Namari and Shiro were, like, the main fighters.
DPS. Yeah.
They're the DPS. Yeah, we got our samurai and our, I don't know what Namari is.
The warrior.
Warrior. Yeah, I guess she's a tank.
Yeah, she's the tank. You get the samurai.
Yeah.
What is Laios' role then, even?
He's just the weirdo.
Yeah, I guess
he's like the marauder that never like upgraded to a warrior or whatever.
Yeah.
You're right. He never got out of the introductory set of skills, and he just kept like honing those 3 skills, and he's just like, I'm just really good at these 3 things.
And level ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Could you imagine, like, what the hell is in your reserves right now? How many
or no,
points?
he put all of his skill points into like learning more about monsters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's true. Oh, he He's just a crafter.
Yeah, exactly.
Or actually, there was a very funny part where I remember one of my D&D campaigns, someone did like someone wanted to know at least like 8 different languages, and then one person did just one language common, but wanted these bunch of side things.
Hmm.
And that reminded me of Laios a lot because I forgot his name. The thief.
Chilchuck?
Kachuk, yeah, he was cursing out Laios, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm getting cursed out in a language I don't even know."
Yeah.
So he's like, he put all his stats into obscure things. He can only speak one language, and that's what he like. He didn't anticipate for all these scenarios.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, they like plan how to kill the dragon, and they decide to like, well, if we can crush it using these buildings that are falling apart, maybe it'll work. Which isn't a bad idea, honestly. I've done way worse things in a dungeon before. And yeah, they eat. Let's cut the red dragon cutlets. Is what it's called, and it's just frogs, fried frog, with onion, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lame ass Mary So Cool Charles and sensitive. Great. But yeah. They eat.
Come up with a plan to drop a building. Just drop a building straight onto the dragon.
Yeah. Marcel is excited to no longer eat dungeon food, but I don't know how that's going to work out for her.
Yeah. I like how they are able to block the dragonfire with the pots, but then, like, you know, science happens.
Yeah.
Like, thermodynamics. The pot gets hot.
Right.
I can't hold it anymore.
Duh. Put a Genghis girl in the dungeon. I don't know what that is. But yeah, they find the dragon really easily in the next chapter. It's just like there after they've all set up. Because I guess it's really been roaming around. It's really angry about something.
It's agitated.
It's agitated. They fight it. Like, there is, like, a lot of action here. I actually really like the way that she draws, like, the fire explosion-y area thing. Mm-hmm. It was cool. Like, all smoky looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does her monster research for sure. When she's drawing, like, creatures, like big creatures, it's pretty intense.
And it also gives, like, biological reasons why it can breathe fire. Like, it has a whole, like, instead of regurgitating stuff like owls and stuff, it keeps the stuff inside to use as fuel for the fire, and it clicks its tongue to ignite it.
Yeah. Which is pretty neat.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a dragon handled like that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I have. They do drop the building onto the dragon, but it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Because it's a dragon.
Yeah, they rolled low on the damage roll.
Yeah. And Laios is like, oh, I can get the sensitive spot on the bottom of the chin of the dragon, but then Kensuke's like, nope, and just runs away.
Yeah. And despite Namari telling Senshi, like, your axe sucks, he swings the axe and immediately, like, breaks on the dragon's scales.
Yeah. I love.
And they do have a mithril knife, and that can go through the scales, but it's a mithril knife. It doesn't go in deep enough. And they just kind of, like, poke it, and they're like, well, shit, now what? It's just stuck in him.
I do love that Chilchuk just starts, like, cursing Laios.
Oh, yeah, and, like, so a different language. Yeah.
I do think the comedic timing in the anime for this scene is way better. Like, they stab the knife into it, and then they kind of just stand there looking at it for a second before they're like, oh, shit, now what?
Now what do we do? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good example of, like, the comedic levity where it's, like, in every scenario, there's still something pretty silly that, like, you know, it's like the part where he gets, like, blasted with, like, the shield. And his, like, face just, like, looks hilarious when he's doing that and stuff.
Like, even when it gets dark, it doesn't stay dark for long. Like, there's some people who are like, oh my god, you can just wait until Dungeon Magic gets super dark. It's like, yeah, it's dark, but
right.
It still doesn't feel like it became a different series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So far, like, there's still levity. It still makes me laugh.
Yeah, like there are if you're like a regular of fantasy stories, you know, and there are tiny bits and pieces of just like surreal experiences in a dungeon that's just like, oh man. In most manga, this would be the start of like a 20 chapter, you know, horror
Side arc or something,
sequence
yeah.
of like how devastating the world can be with monsters, but like pops up for like a quick second, like you know that panel with that other party, and like you know before they get sucked down by the mermaids.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that one very specific panel, like I've seen that in so many other stories that, and it could turn into like, you know, that's your next arc.
Right.
And then it goes, nope, we're good.
No, we're good. It's true. Yeah.
So Katsu, you know.
That's true. But
I feel like too many like series kind of like they forget what worked for the series and why people loved it when they start kind of like getting into like the meats of it. Like I feel like My Hero Academia kind of fell into that trap where like I really liked it when he was like this powerless kid working to like
kind of is
prove
like
himself, and then now he became like OP.
He's like OP,
well,
yeah. It's like I do really like in Dungeon Meshi. It's not even like you're dealing with like main characters of anything. It's just like they're just up. Like there could be another dungeon with something else more interesting happening, but like that's not what the story's about. Like
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, Senshi is truly the goat here because I don't know if I would give up my super fancy Mithril Pitch Knife to kill a dragon.
Yeah, he's grown pretty.
They do get it back though because Chilchuck like grabs a knife and stabs the dragon in the eye.
It's true. It's okay. It ends up being okay for Senshi. It's like, wow, Senshi,
but
you're willing
Senshi
to give...
does get stepped on, and not in a lewd way.
And not in a lewd way.
In a very violent way.
Ouch. Oof,
yeah, he
my
gets
bones.
fucked up. Yeah.
I think they did have protection magic on, so he didn't die.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, he had protection magic on. Arceel's trying to help out. There's not a ton that like Senshi can do, so he's just trying to get Kensuke, but he gets crushed, yeah. So Chilchuck tries to like stab him instead.
Yeah, and then they get hit by rubble and pass out.
Yeah. They do.
So the dragon has one eye blind, but like they can't really hit it with magic, or the magic's not doing enough.
Yeah. So, Laios tells Marcel to launch him off of the adamant pot into the air to get onto the dragon. And thankfully it works.
And to like actually reach under his chin, Laios sticks his leg into the dragon's mouth, gets bit, so he can flip it upside down and stab the spot. And this scene is like really well done in the anime.
Yeah. Yeah,
this whole sequence is crazy. It's so well animated.
It's such a like hardcore fight though. Like I don't know, this is just such a gritty fight. I don't know if you guys remember, like one of my criticisms of like solo leveling was like the fight sequences felt too clean almost. Like they would just like blast a hole in someone or something. Yeah. And then this is like they really struggle, and it's like they only win by like the skin of their teeth here. Literally, he had to like give up his leg, and like 2 people passed out from this.
Yeah, I always love like people like making memes that like, oh, like Chilchuck went out such a funny wimp because he just got hit by a random rock. But I'm like, yeah, but that's like that happened.
Yeah, he literally isn't a fighter. He literally told them at the start, like, I'm not going to help fight. But he still helped fight in the end.
Unless you're wearing a damn hard hat, like, yeah, if like a bunch of rocks were falling from like a rubble, it might knock you out if you get hit by one. Like,
likely will. If not, you're going to get a concussion. Like,
yeah, it's like it's kind of insane that so many anime deal with like giant explosions and crazy stuff, and like nothing crazy happens like that. So it's like, I don't know. There's this nice weight to everything in the fights that feels very, very realistic. Like. These are people with human bodies moving around and not like just anime characters jumping and flying.
Yeah.
And you do see like subtle like Chilchuck character development because acts like he doesn't care, but when push comes to shove, he will like go against what he said and actually help them fight.
Yeah.
And he does care enough about Senshi to try and wake him up when Senshi passes out.
Yeah, he does secretly like them.
Mm-hmm.
Them all.
Yeah.
But yeah, Laios does kill the dragon, even though it's like not.
I also like how Laios, like before he sticks his foot in, he's like, "This is like not nearly as bad as what Valen had to go through when she got eaten whole."
I'll lose a leg. It's fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just to save her, and then we have a nice little tiny backstory of the town that they grew up in, realizing the Fallen can see ghosts.
Yeah.
She saves Laios by like hitting him in the head. Mm-hmm. This is why Laios is dumb.
Yeah, and you can see them wearing like fancy clothes and everything.
That's why Laios is neurodivergent.
Yeah, he got smashed in the head as a child.
That's horrible.
No, I'm joking. It's obviously not it.
Yeah. But you can see they've always been like supportive of each other.
Yes.
Yeah,
and like siblings. He really cares about her as an older brother.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
I like them.
Yeah.
I never really buy. Just on my own experience, I don't have like a bad relationship with my brothers, but I don't really have like the closest relationship. So sometimes when siblings are like too cushy friendly, I'm like, eh. But like they feel very authentic. Like they do really feel like siblings. There's like some like in their backstories, especially whenever they write them, I'm like, yeah, I love the way they bicker and like they really do feel like they've known each other for their whole lives.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they feel like siblings and not in a creepy way. And not in a too distant
not
way.
anime siblings.
Right. Yeah, they're not anime siblings.
I hate the way some series write like brothers and sisters, and I'm just like, this is so weird.
Sometimes it's weird.
It's so unnatural.
Yeah, Marcel heals them, and I actually love that it like hurts to be healed so quickly.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I love like. Is this the part where Senchi's like, no, I'm good, and she's like, no, it'll just take a second. She like puts his bone, because it's like you can't just like heal a broken bone. It's not just gonna put itself back into place.
Yeah.
It's like so realistic where it's like, no, we gotta position your bone first and then heal you, and it's like, oh fuck.
I can imagine it would be horrible, but at least it's all
it's like a really cool like healers are also like the least squeamish, like they're like the most like almost the strongest just in that way.
Yeah.
Where it's like they have to know how to do all that stuff. It's cool.
Yeah. They get Laios' leg. And the kitchen knife. Yeah. Hooray! When they heal his leg. But then comes the hard part, which is where is Fallen. They have to like carve a huge hole in the dragon.
Yeah,
they
and they
pull
find
out
bones.
its stomach.
I do remember, when I was reading this, I remember I was like literally on the plane to Japan, and I was like just like saying out loud, I was like, no way, they're not actually gonna do this right now. Like we're not gonna like find her damn bones.
Yeah.
God, this shot is so good in the anime.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to. It's like hard to watch.
Yeah, there's a sense of dread that you don't quite get from the manga, especially when they find her skull. The shot of when they find her skull, you're looking from the perspective of the skull and you see the eye holes.
Yeah, and it's like how the episode ends too. It's like a like mic drop moment, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So just
being all this way.
It still is like the end of the chapter, but like I get what you mean.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm sure. Yeah. It just I think there's definitely a stinger. Anime, but either way, it's because I couldn't believe that they were doing that, and even when I was reading the manga, I was just like, wow, that's pretty dark. Holy shit! Like I thought she was just gonna be in the stomach and maybe she'd be dead, but like her body'd still be there. But I was like,
no, she's like dead.
That would make sense. It's not like they were getting there 10 minutes later. Like
they were eating all that food.
Yeah, she's definitely like I don't know what the fuck they were expecting.
Right. Well, I guess there's no like knowledge on how fast a dragon digests things, so they just thought like maybe they would have time. But
yeah, they were hoping.
Yeah.
But no, she's bones.
No, she's bones. But they put together all of the bones and the wargs that were also eaten by the dragon.
Yeah. See, like this is what I mean. Like it gets really dark, but then they are like, "Oh, let's have fun! Like learning about human anatomy and like dog anatomy."
Yeah, it became a family puzzle.
Yeah, exactly. It became a little jigsaw puzzle because they're trying to sort out the bones.
Yeah.
So that they don't get them mixed up.
And even though what they're doing is so morbid.
Actually, like the proximal phalange is the longest in the middle finger, but the longest metacarpal is actually in the index finger. It's like, okay. Cool. Anatomy lesson.
Let's do it. Silly. But yeah, then
I like how it also shows like the recipe stats for the skeletons. It's like all calcium.
Woo, calcium. Yeah.
Yeah, good like sense of humor. It's like it's dark, but it's like delightfully dark. It's like this is cute.
Yeah, because they're not eating. They have to.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, and then Marcial casts super, super dark magic to resurrect her.
Yeah, and they have to use the flesh of the dragon to resurrect her.
To do it. Yeah, because they were talking about like having to like carry cows down to the dungeon to make it work, and like that's not gonna happen. So they just have to use the dragon.
She uses like the black magic, and like Marcella is such a silly character, but like when she gets real, she gets real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it totally works, but it's like, whoa.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, it's like drawn really well and it's animated really well. Just like the flesh wrapping around the bones, the muscles and sinews coming back together over the bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did her research.
And her like coughing up blood as she wakes up.
Yeah, she
is conscious and she has her sanity.
Yeah, I do think it's not super clear here, but she's like covered in dragon blood.
Yeah.
And that's like, ew, but I guess how else would you be revived if they're literally using dragon meat to revive you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty intense.
It's intense. I guess it's kind of like I didn't know going in immediately if the entire journey is going to be saving her, but no, we got that here at chapter 27. So what is the rest? I mean, I kind of have a feeling of what the rest is going to be about, but I don't know.
I do know something happens before you stop reading, right? Yeah. Yeah. The I don't agree. Like, I think the tone doesn't change exactly of the series, but the tone of, it's hard to explain. It's like your expectations change once you get to this point in the series where it's where you're like, you were kind of expecting this to be just simple, and now it's like, okay, this is throwing me for a loop where it's like, I don't know where this is going, and like anything could happen. And you just saw literally one of these characters that they've been romanticizing this entire thing. You just saw her flesh and bones get it's like they are willing to do some really weird things in this series. So it's like I kind of like all bets are off. I remember that happened at one point with like Mob Psycho. I remember like at one point I couldn't trust Mob Psycho. I was like, what are they gonna do in this series now? Like what like I couldn't trust I couldn't predict how far they'd go for a plot or something, which is cool. That is so fun. And I really like that about this series. It's like, I don't know what the hell is going to happen, but like, this has already gotten pretty crazy. So,
or like a good comparison is like Sabaudi Archipelago in One Piece. Like that's kind of a moment you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It doesn't really change One Piece, but it is like, this completely changed what I'm expecting.
Like this
One
series
Piece
is not what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool.
Yeah, this isn't just funny cooking show anymore. There's like more to it.
There's more to it.
And at this point, I think it's easy to care about the characters. So it's like, especially after the dragon fight, it's just like so cool.
Job because
they do such a good job.
You need to care about the characters for it to hurt when things that are bad happen to them. Yeah. And it did a really good job building up Valen, even though she hasn't really appeared in the series that often.
That's true.
Only in a couple of flashbacks.
I've said it a million times. The best way to make drama is to make comedy first. So you will care more when you're laughing. So it's like laughing is like one of the most vulnerable things you can be. So like if you feel vulnerable with the story, when it hits, it'll fucking hit. Like you're gonna be connected with these characters. So, yeah,
it hurts a lot more when you're, not expecting it.
Yeah, it's
when
like
you get punched in the stomach while you're giggling.
Yeah, it's like a show that's all like serious and edgy. There's like only so much you'll be attached because you're not letting your guard down. But like with comedy, you're always letting your guard down. Like you just, you're expecting one thing. It's so good, so smart.
You get tickled until they stab you and then heart.
But it really does. I think like if it wasn't for these characters being so charming and funny, I wouldn't give a shit about them. Like,
Yeah.
it's like it's so smart that they make Laios the way they make him so charmingly eccentric and like fun to watch that it's like, oh man, it's just so good. He's just such a good writer. It's just wow.
Yeah. Yeah, Realm, you sent me a message where you were like, I just wanted to get to chapter 30 so quickly. Stop talking about the side characters. I need to know what's happening to Fallon.
Yeah, so great. Yeah, exactly. I was just like, what happening to Fallon? All of a sudden, there's just the whole thing with Killchick and the ogres, and I was just like, dude, shut up. There was never a point I wanted to just like zoom through the dialogue. Then exactly at that moment, I'm like, okay, well, move on.
Definitely no. At least it has a foothold on you in terms of its story.
That's where we stopped.
Yeah, stopped that chapter. Was it 31?
Speaking of Fallon, though, they have a nice Yuri moment in the bath.
Yeah.
It's not super lewd in the manga, but the anime definitely played it up. And they hold hands, they interlace fingers, like that's so gay.
How dare you hold hands in the bath?
And holding
lesbians.
Yeah.
Especially with space lesbians. Now we have dungeon lesbians, man.
I know.
Yeah.
We're getting running horizons here.
Senshi accidentally blows up the dragon because he tries to light a fire next to it, but then all the gas from the dragon blows up too. It turns the dragon body into an oven where he makes pizza. And
like maybe one other story. Think about the dragon's like adrenal glands or something like that, flame sack in that sort of way. So
yeah,
really cool.
Yeah, and also I'm like, Senshi, why wouldn't you think about that? Senshi.
Yeah, they even told him earlier, like no fire while we're carving out the dragon. We were just gonna use like dancing lights.
He just doesn't. He's like so into the dragon meat, he doesn't even think about.
Oh yeah, he's so excited. He's been like, "This is what I wanted all along. I wanted to cook this dragon, man."
Yeah. And they only survive because Fallon protects them.
Yeah, and apparently she has like crazy amounts of mana because she's been revived with dragon parts.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's like, I'm fine, and Marcia's like, you're not fine, but like,
yeah. And then like Laios tells her that they've been eating monsters, and she's like, "Sugoi,
yeah, she's excited.
She would be.
Yeah. Yeah, she's into it, and Marcia's like, "Oh my god, no."
Mm-hmm.
What did you expect? That's your damn girlfriend. How do you not know her?
Yeah.
How do you not know her? Yeah.
And they even climb into bed together, Marcel and Fallon, and then they have like this look at each other, and she's like, if like, come on, like I know it's subtext, but like, you'd have to be freaking blind to not see this subtext, right? The way they look at each other.
Totally.
Oh no, they're very good friends.
Oh no, just good friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say.
And lay in bed together and stare into each other's eyes.
Right.
The fucking even that shower scene too is just like a bath scene. I'm like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Ryoko Kui is not one to just do like that kind of thing. She's too smart for that. It's like there's something there. So is that a chapter? What chapter was that?
This is 28.
We have two more chapters to go.
We do see Laios like bond with his sister and like hug her.
Yeah,
that part's really good. Yeah.
But then the lunatic magician shows up and finds the body of the dragon. He's like, what the fuck?
They're like, ugh. And it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Fallon gets up and is all freaking out.
Yeah, she's like basically possessed, it feels like.
Yeah.
Or at least compelled. And I didn't notice this at first, but the ghosts are trying to like stop her from like going to the dragon area. Because she can see ghosts. And she talks to them and stuff. But yeah, the lunatic magician person is just like there and like I didn't relieve you of your duty. I don't know, it's creepy.
Yeah, and then he's like, why have you assumed that form? And they're just like referring to them to Fallon as if she's the dragon.
Yeah, as if she is the dragon, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's also fair to say that there's kind of like there's definitely, I don't think the author had this in mind, but there's definitely people who have like a trans allegory, like interpretation of this. Because Fallon is like brought back with like the parts of a male dragon.
I can see that.
Oh,
I don't think it's. I don't know
how much
it's explored.
Yeah,
but...
I don't think it's really explored, but I feel like that is like a possible read of this series. I don't really see it that way though.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you get out of it, I mean, sure, whatever. I don't know if I like however you interpret it is valid. I think, but
yeah.
I don't know.
See where they all fall into the hole, and Senchi's ass is just all up.
Yes. Yeah. So the lunatic magician starts like casting magic, and he uses the black magic to like create like little wyverns, like blood wyverns, and that come after them.
Yeah.
Marcel is barely able to dispel them in time.
Right. They get,
and it looks like he has like some strange book that lets him cast all this crazy magic.
Right.
Oh, I also see like the scene where Senshi made all these like dragon hams.
Oh yes.
And they just like roll back into the dragon as like
devastating.
Dark magic is
they
happening.
all go right back into him.
He kind of just like stares and side eyes at it and is just like, what the heck?
What the heck?
I worked so hard. They're just rolling away.
Those
He's
panels
so
are
mad
so good.
about it.
These panels are really good where they're in the little box that's getting smaller and her like stick breaks. Like that's like how they show you it's getting smaller. It's like that is so well done.
Yeah, it's really smart. Yeah. They get trash compacted.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And then like they're scared because if they die here, no one will find them to be able to revive them.
Yeah, and they won't be able to do anything for Fallen.
Yeah.
That's like
the ghosts pull them through the wall.
It's such a easy moment for fan service, like Marcel getting pulled under, and it's like, you know, her like little dress thing is like being pulled up. She's just wearing like fucking shorts.
She's shorts. It's fine.
Yeah, why would she not be wearing shorts? Like, what the hell? Because like, you really expect like mages to be walking around in bikinis?
I mean, exactly.
She's got no ass in that shot. It's awesome. Like literally negative fan service. It's so good.
Yeah. And then Senshi gets all the fan service. Senshi like falls into a 69 position of Laios.
Yeah, literally in this shot, like he's literally like on top of Laios, like 69ing Laios.
It's so funny. It's like, whoa. There's a bunch of, they get like pulled into like this other area, and there's a bunch of ghosts, and they're like, oh god, we're gonna die, but they all just like poof away.
Yeah, and the orc shows up.
The orcs show up, and they're gonna kill them, but it's okay because Senshi's there.
Yeah, that scene when the orc, like, they open the door and the orc's there, and like Chilchuk screams. Chilchuk's scream in the anime is so funny. It's so high pitched.
Oh.
It's very, very funny.
Great. Yeah, they know them. What is your name? Orc girl? I don't know.
I don't remember.
Well, there's Orc girl that's daughter of the chieftain that we met previously.
Mm-hmm.
So she
has a full ass moose antler as her chest plate.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Very cool idea.
Is that what is? I didn't even realize
that.
Yeah, I wanted it to be coral, but I was like, it's probably a moose or like an elk. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and she like, oh god, she like feeds
the orc medicine.
Yeah, mouth to mouth style.
And she's like,
no! Shot of Marcel's laying
like,
there.
wait, no, I'm okay. It's just mana sickness. I'm out of mana. Wait. They're just like bleh on the ground.
God forbid Marcel gets to make out with a cool orc.
Yeah.
She's so upset about it.
She's upset because it's not Fallen.
True. Yeah, she's very, very like faithful.
But yeah, Orc Girl knows a little bit more about the lunatic magician, that they like can control all the monsters in the dungeon and how the dungeon's laid out, just by using the book.
Yeah, which makes sense when we learned that they're making dungeons in the thing. It's like, oh wait, is this just like the dungeons that they made in the backstory thing? Like, is that the kind of magic they're using?
Yeah, and she's like, well, if you kill the dragon, she's gonna come out and be pissed because that's her big guy.
Yeah.
And Chilchuk is worried. He's like, he wants to like trick them into like going back to the surface.
Yeah.
He's like, don't be a coward. Just tell them how you really feel. Tell them that you're worried about them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he finally does, and he has a character moment where
He sits between Laos's legs.
I also like that Senshi doesn't push Chilchuck. He's just like, okay, well,
yeah,
that's how you feel.
Yeah.
And the girl orc is actually the one that like convinces him to be more honest.
Yeah.
About how he feels.
And they have a beautiful moment where they're just like, all right, let's go back. We can't save Alan right now. We have to go back.
Yeah, you have to go
resupply.
Back. And I do like that Chilchuck admits that he's like, I don't want you to die. I don't hate you. It's just funny, like that's his character growth. Admitting that he likes his friends.
Yeah. I went from not liking my friends to liking my friends.
Wow. I really like Chilchuck. It's just really funny.
Yeah.
Well,
Chilchuck is so funny.
He has like trust issues, kind of.
Yeah, he has
I'm telling you, he has divorced dad energy.
I get it. It's hard to trust people. It's all right. But yeah, he like begs to them to go back to the surface because it's just we need more supplies and it's too dangerous. But yeah.
And it made Realm really mad because they weren't immediately going to get Fallon.
Yeah.
To go back.
Yeah, I did. Shut up. I did not want that business.
It's okay. You can read on right now.
I know.
I know, but I'm trying to be, because Toto likes to ask us what we think will happen next. I'm trying to be faithful to that idea.
That's true. Hey, we can read together after stream if you want. We can voice a chapter because it's been a while since we've done that. But yeah, okay. Well, what do you think is gonna happen next, Realm and Trips? You guys have not read this.
I think that they keep their mouth shut.
You've read it before Dawn.
I read it like a week ago.
I love that Realm is really invested. It's great.
I think the policy of silence is golden, and go get their friends.
They're just
champions.
Yeah.
And then Fallon will turn into a dragon and soar into the sky. The end.
Oh yeah, they'll just go. They'll just everything will work out. They'll go.
Everything will just work out.
Yeah.
They'll
go get.
Wait, Realm, have you seriously not seen any like spoilers of this show?
No.
I feel like the spoilers are everywhere nowadays. Okay.
No,
okay.
I'm very good at avoiding. Stuff.
Okay, that's great.
I will say though, what is one monster you guys would like to see them fight and eat? Like, what is a fantasy monster you would look forward to them going into next?
They've covered a pretty good amount in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like a carrion crawler. If that makes any. I don't know how to describe that thing. But,
yeah.
They like crawl on the surface and they like eat everything that they like see. They're really creepy, and I bet Marcia will freak out. So I want them to.
Right?
Or like I hate rust monsters, so if they could eat a rust monster, it would feel like revenge.
Rust monster.
Rust monsters specifically only eat things that have like that are made of metal, and if it touches it,
like
generally
Goron
speaking, it'll just immediately absorb it. What?
Isn't that a Goron from Zelda?
Kinda, yeah, but like it's not.
Yeah, it looks more like a big old lizard beetle thing.
Yeah, like a lizard beetle thing. Yeah, I don't even know if that's like something that'd be in there. I just don't like them. So
that would be cool. They could prey on the living armors.
Yeah, if they prey on the living armors. Yeah.
I hope they find Goombas.
Yeah. Oh, Goombas? Didn't they already find Goombas?
Yeah, that was like the first thing they ate was a mushroom.
That was a toad. A Goomba is like, I guess it's also a mushroom.
Yeah.
Are Goombas chestnuts or those Karibos?
Yeah.
There are chestnut Goombas, I think.
Yeah.
It's confusing. It gets complicated. The lore.
Yeah, we need to get into Goomba biology. The Goomba, what's it called? Etymology.
Etymology, yeah, I don't know.
What's the science of like how things are related to each other? Man, my brain is not working.
Like etymology?
I have an entire app on my phone that does that. It's like a Pokedex, but for real things in real life.
It's like a Pokedex for real things. You mean like an encyclopedia?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, but like I hold it on my phone.
That's all the Pokedex was.
But I hold it on my phone, and then it tells me what type of like bug it is.
That is so true.
Oh my god! Wait, was a Pokedex AI all along?
I was gonna say literally that the Pokedex.
It was just
that's
an
so
iPhone.
funny. I've heard people do that where they can like put it up to a bug, Yeah, it's like that's literally just a Pokedex.
Yeah,
it's my Pokedex.
That's actually really funny. I never
Oh
thought
my
about
gosh,
that.
is Rotom an AI?
Yes. Kind of.
I love my AI-powered washing machine.
Ron, what do you want to see? What kind of monsters
So
do
I
you
was
wanna
thinking
see?
about it. In light of my need, not a want, a need for character development, I want the characters to get things that will help them, but they obtain it through like their eating methods. Not to say that they absorb the powers, but like I would love Senshi to get a phoenix, and then that'll be his way to get fire while using magic. So he's like okay with magic. I would love Laios to see like an Oni. I know we saw a snake, but I would like to see him like an Oni or like a bigger. I don't know. I know we've like already seen like a basilisk, but a different type of fanged thing that turns into like a sword, or he can cut monster meat with it, like adamantine knife. I would like to see those type of creatures. There's only a couple I can think of right now because like I said, we've seen scarabs, we've seen, what's it called? The kelpies.
Yeah.
We saw different mushrooms, different, like things from desert oases and different water creatures, and we saw freaking dragons. That's the epitome of fire, and like I feel like we've covered a pretty good range on the first shot.
Yep. Yeah. Like my number one like thing that I would want to see is a kobold, but we've already seen one. So.
Yeah, and they're not going to eat a kobold because he's like sentient and stuff. I mean, I guess they could. This would be a very different series if they
did.
Oh, Laios would.
Yeah. You had to be like, no,
Just
don't.
saying.
It's a sentient creature.
Yeah.
Coach X gonna get on you. Like, are you sure?
Right. Are you sure? Oh no. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what will happen next, but I guess I don't know if they'll go to the top, but I think my dream thing that totally isn't going to happen is that like the next chapter they just find Fall and she's totally fine. She's like, I have dragon powers now, and then they like fly to the dungeon and then they like take over the world.
Yeah, I was going to say then there's about 45 to or was it like it's about 45 to 50 chapters of them having sex.
Yeah. It just turns into smut.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this was all front to get you guys.
Don, are you sure you read the real series and not your fan fiction?
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, he may have read, just I don't know on what website.
Oh god.
Transition. I just didn't even bother checking.
Oh no. But yeah, that's I don't know. I really don't know. I guess hardship, and also they will eat food, I think, maybe. Hopefully.
Yeah, they better. It's called Dungeon Machine.
Yeah. Caught reading fan subs. That's okay. I don't judge. But yeah, this is really great. I'm really enjoying it. I don't have a rating for it yet because, like, we're not done with it. It's not the same as
Who's
like
your favorite
One
character?
Piece. Oh, I said it. Right now it's Senshi because I said it before, like you were there in the call. It's Senshi because he's not a dwarf. Like he's the opposite of what I expect from a dwarf.
Okay.
And I usually hate dwarfs, and I was like, oh, I love him. He's so cute and fun.
He's the most hobbit dwarf ever. Right?
Yeah,
he's more of a hobbit than a dwarf.
He's so fun, and he hates all of the things that I don't like about dwarfs, and so he's great.
Hell yeah.
Who's your favorite?
What about you, Don? Wait, no, we know Don. Don likes Chilchuk.
Well, actually, no, Chilchuk's not my favorite. I think if you asked me at this point in the series, I would have said Marcel. But I think by the end it was Laios.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, Marcel's like very close second. I love the way she's written, and like her relationship with like magic and stuff is really cool. Especially in the next like maybe 10-ish chapters, she gets some cool moments.
Okay.
And I really like I was just gonna say I do really like Kabru. He's really cool. Like it's like
oh wow, I hate him.
What? Oh, I think he's so interesting.
No, I hate him, but I love to hate him.
I think that's the best. You have I mean, like again, I won't get into it because you know more about him later. But you really never know how to feel about him, even kind of up to the end. You might have a kind of idea, but you're still kind of like, yeah, he's cool sometimes, but it's like I respect the shit out of a story that can still invest me in a character. At the end, I'm still like, yeah, I don't know if I'd hang out with him. Like,
Yeah,
I still don't
no.
know if I would or not. Like, I don't know if
I
I could.
think
I don't
he's a
know.
very good foil to Laios because Laios
Yeah.
like knows monsters and doesn't know people, and Kaburu's all about manipulating people.
Yeah, but no one's like really like, at least in the main cast, no one like the morals are very like everyone's just acting like people, which is really cool. It's like you don't really feel like Capper is like a evil dude. He's just, he's surviving like everyone else. Like, he means well for the most part. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Realm, I think you're gonna say Martial, but am I wrong?
It's tough. I think Senshi has gotten the I guess the emotional EQ per like trying to figure out the ratio of like what he shows versus what he does. I would say he's performed the best in terms of just like showing, hey, this is what I'm all about, and here's all the funny things you can do, and he's just very like he is relatable in a lot of ways like that. Like I feel like you're trying to connect with Marcille, but she has that bit of like she is just not that she is bad in any way. She's just from a different background of sorts. So like you're looking at ways to understand her better. So I'm gonna say Senshi right now. Very close is Marcille. Considering I ran through chapter 30 because I'm like, shut up, kill check. I want to see what happens to Fallon. He's in the ambiguous zone at the moment, and y'all know how I feel about Laios, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah. I really like Marcel.
Yeah.
Like I relate really hard to Marcel, but it's because I'm like also like honor student lesbian. So yeah.
I mean, that's fair, honestly. I mean, I think it will change because like Senshi's only my favorite right now because he defied all my expectations of the character. But
I definitely found Laios kind of like boring at the start, and it wasn't until later I was like, wow, he's kind of a weirdo.
Yeah.
But I like appreciated him more.
I think that's one of the reasons why I love Laios so much is because I had almost no expectations going in about him, and especially at some point I was like, I respected the fact that he was so samey or like boring looking for a pro tag, or I guess boring in just terms of like that, and then by the end he might be the most interesting protagonist I've ever seen in a manga, like ever. It's like it's such a cool dynamic that he has with the story, and oh man, it's so good.
I think like he's slowly coming more into a leadership role, like him being able to like figure out a plan to defeat the dragon.
Yeah, even beyond like his role within the characters, his role within the story, I have very little examples of a story that can like progressively create a protagonist. Like at first he doesn't feel like the protagonist, but by the end you are so invested in him as the protag. It's like crazy. Like it's so cool. Very, very, very rarely have I ever felt like that.
And I will say, like, it doesn't feel like he's a chosen one. Like, he's just a guy.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
Just a guy.
But again, it's always that case, but it's like you feel like he's your chosen one. Like he's like, he's the one that you want to follow.
Or he's like the right one for this series because like this series is all about like dealing with these monsters, and he's the one who like knows most about monsters.
Yeah, exactly. He's the one like I was saying before, where it's like, oh, there could be a million more interesting things happening in other places. By the end, you're like, but I want to be here because this is where these characters are, like kind of thing. And this is why it's so interesting, is because these characters are here. It's so friggin' good.
Yeah.
So good.